This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet.
This is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Greencastle-Antrim Athletic Complex in Cayley Field on the campus of the Greencastle-Antrim School District for tonight's high school football matchup between the visiting Lightning Bolts of Littlestown High School and the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils. Tonight's game brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com, an equal housing lender. Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installations, and Klein's Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. Visit kleintours.net for a complete schedule. I'm Greg Hoover, along with my good friend Rick Lewis, right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network from MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com. Our pregame show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent, serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way in Greencastle and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Tonight, the Blue Devils return to the place they call home with a 1-0 record and take on a team with an 0-1 record, a team they soundly beat last year at Littlestown in the second game of the season by a 49-14 count. And you have to wonder just a little bit, Rick, even though it's only the second game of the season and it is the home opener, can the Blue Devils take this game a little too lightly?
Well, good evening, Greg. And, they definitely could. There was definitely areas for improvement. I think there was 16 penalties in our first game. 5 times the ball was on the ground. We were fortunate to recover. But as we talked about at the end of the broadcast, just your average ho-hum opener last week with an overtime last-second field goal. But I think for the Blue Devils, what they want to do is just clean things up. They want to play as clean a game as possible. They're a prohibited favorite tonight. Littlestown's a very young team. They do have their running back, their starting running back, who did not play last week back, but talking to one of their coaches before the game, he said that should help. But I think Greencastle is a prohibited favorite tonight, but it's about playing a clean game and getting ready for league play.
Well, it is, and it's a long way off the league play. Next week it's West Perry, and then the following week they do enter in the Colonial Division with Big Spring. But tonight, again, as you said, Littlestown is in here. Really nothing to lose. A storied program. Littlestown has been a perennial football powerhouse for years. They've dropped the last 2 years, actually, which is unusual for them. So it's still in a rebuilding stage. It takes a while to gather that back around, and that's what they have to do. So it'll be interesting to see what they throw at us tonight. We'll be right back with more of the pregame show on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on midpennbroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Live and local. This is midpennbroadcasting.com.
Welcome back to Kelly Field. Greg Hoover, Rick Lewis, thanks for tuning in. Having every now and then, as we do, some technical difficulties, but we're trying to work them through. This time, PA announcer Vern McCauley is talking to the crowd about what happened 14 years ago in this state and reviewing that tragic episode in the of our nation's history. But the important thing to always remember, after that tragedy, we were very resilient and we did bounce back. And we still have to give our thanks to all our servicemen, to our firefighters and police officers and EMS people that responded that way. And that is what we're going to do here. And we're going to join the people here at Kelly Field with that at this time.
May God continue to bless America as we observe this moment of silent reflection. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
The playing of our national anthem by the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devil Marching Band. And Rick, the amazing thing is that for that one moment in time there, this place was absolutely silent.
It is. It's an unbelievable day to remember, and like you said, it's one of those things that you never forget. And the way we joined together, you wish sometimes we could work together like that on a day-to-day basis. But I guess that, you know, it's the trials and tribulations of our society but just a remarkable time in our history for a lot of reasons.
Yes, it certainly was, and you're right. For that brief moment in time, too, we all did come together. Shouldn't be that difficult, but we find ourselves making it more and more difficult. Well, the captains are meeting at the center of the field right now, and last week, as we were leaving Chambersburg, Rick, you said to me, where do we do this broadcast from at Greencastle? And I told you the best seat in the house. Was I wrong?
You are not. The field looks great. The home side is filled up. It's another beautiful evening. And, as I was looking through my notes, Greg, the biggest thing I noticed from the last game is Greencastle had 6 players catch the ball and 7 run it. That's unbelievable for a high school team to have that many weapons, and that makes it very challenging for the defensive team. Before we get started, though, on a positive note on this date, I'd like to yell out to my parents. Today is their 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
so
congratulations.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad. We'll see you tomorrow.
Very good. Where they live?
Harrisburg.
Okay, not too far away. I should have known that. Should have known that. You mentioned last week spreading the wealth around. 4 different people had scores last week for the Blue Devils. The leading scorer? Who do you think the leading scorer was?
I think it was, who are we going to go with?
I'll make it easy. Austin Smith. Yeah. So Austin had 3 extra points, and then he also had, no, I guess he didn't. He had the field goal. I gave him credit for the Chrisman run-in, but that wasn't his. So it was 6 points. So everybody has 6 points. That's the leading score at this point in time. Our pregame show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Kicking off, Littlestown will kick. They will move left to right from the west to the east. Blue Devils will move the opposite direction, obviously toward the high school with the football. Littlestown is in the away all whites, blue helmets. Blue Devils in the all blues. Matter of fact, if you look at the coaching staff, you would think they're wearing the same jerseys. So they're both blue and gold over there. Kickoff straight down the middle. And, whoa, it ends up Billy Parker took it, but he collided with Zimmerman, or who we get that back here?
Luke Robertson, I believe, number 24.
Oh,
but,
okay.
And unfortunately, we talked about them playing a clean game, and right off the kickoff, lack of communication. 30 seniors, we talked about this a lot last weekend, and the team just has to do a better job of those little mistakes. It might not cost you today, but when you get on some of the tough league games, it could be a problem.
Jeffrey spread wide to the near side. Spencer Myers goes out under center in the wing T formation in the backfield. Rolling, fake play action, stops, throws across on the waggle to that's going to be Derek Measles, and the first pass of the game is complete. Good enough for about 8 yards on the play.
Nice pass by Spencer Myers. He threw for 200 yards last weekend at Chambersburg. Derek Measles is really the glue guy of this offense. He does a little of everything. He runs it, he catches it. Great hands as he took a hit after that completion. First down, Blue Devils.
They'll work out of the wing T again. Receiver to the right and a wing to the left. Going to run a come this way run. Get the ball to Burton. Burton jukes around, gets up over the 40-yard line, and gets to the 45, which will be good enough for a first down for 2 yards.
Well, you can't ask for more than that. A pass and a run and 20 yards picked up. So good start by the Blue Devils. And the best part about the first 2 plays, Greg, no yellow flags.
No yellow flags and no balls on the ground. 4 turnovers. They lost the ball 4 times, I guess, is the best way of saying that last week. And actually 5 fumbles, and they lost 2 of those. And then they had the interception, and then really the penalties were abnormal, to say the least. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Spencer throws. He completes the pass to Bray Peck. Peck is hit right away, but goes down at the 50-yard line and gets a no, he doesn't. Straight on the 50. It'll be shy of the first down by 3.
Nice catch by Bray Peck. Another weapon. We got right away here. You can see the versatility of the Blue Devils. Measle and Peck have already caught passes. Burton's already run for a first down. A lot of weapons this year, Greg.
Sure is. Out of the gun. Myers once again has a runner to his right, 2 wings. One goes in motion. That's Measles on. The Measles takes the sweep to the right side. Tries to get around the corner. Fumble. Ball still alive on the tarp. And they get it. Littlestown recovers the fumble.
And that's, Derek Measle will be the first to tell you that's just ball security right there. He didn't get hit hard. He just was carrying it too loose from his body. Got hit from behind. and fumbled it. Now we're going to have to make it up on defense. And Littlestown gets the ball in great field position at the Greencastle 48, we'll call it.
Yep, in GA territory. First possessions for them. We don't know much about their ball team. We do know they got beat 35-0 last year, or this last week, to Bowling Springs, a team they beat the year before. We do know Cody Boyd is the quarterback, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. They're going to run a reverse right out of the pocket here. They give the ball to Wesley Story. Story gets up over the 45 and down to the 42-yard line.
And Story's the running back. They just got back. He was injured last week, didn't play. They're looking for a big game from him. And as you said, Cody Boyd led the team in passing as well as rushing last week, so he needs to be contained as well.
Good story on Story. How you like that?
Very nice.
They're working out of the, I'll get back to that, straight out of the I formation. And going to give it to the tailback in this situation. That is Story again. Story is hit right away. Not hurt, hit right away by a host of Blue Devils. And making the final put down on that will be Andrew Votro. 3rd down and 3. Last year he had 6 returns, and he averaged 47.8 on kickoff returns.
Can't beat that.
Now,
Jeremy Anderson just made that play again, Greg. Votro got the tackle, but Jeremy Anderson, big hoss in the middle there, it continues to do a very nice job at nose guard.
Pitch back to Story on the sweep, but Blue Devils see it and make sure it does not go any farther than that, and that is Tyler Jeffries in on the stop for the Blue Devils.
And Tyler Jeffries, nice tackle there. If you remember last week, really got the Blue Devils going with that great catch and run at the very end of the first half that really changed the game when the Blue Devils needed a spark. He provided it.
10 seconds left in the half, and a 2-play drive for the Blue Devils to get them on the board and tie it. Going to split the backs in the backfield. A slot to the right. Rolling, looking to pass. Throws it up, and in between 2 intended receivers. I'm going to go with the Pittinger, the wide out, as the one he wanted to get it to, but he couldn't.
No, and that was one of the areas of improvement we saw last week that we were curious about. Greencastle had problems in defensive coverage last year, and it looks like they're getting better on that front as well. So now the ball's back to the Blue Devils and see if we can make up for that early mistake.
Well, they switched defenses as we talked about last week. They went from their standard 4-4 to a 3-4 to give them more protection in the secondary, and it seems to be paying off so far this time. Wide out to the far side is Gleckman. He had a pass and a touchdown last week for 64 yards. Looks like timeout's being called by Clark for the offensive coordinator. Didn't like what he saw, and you could see Spencer sort of like yelling at everybody. Something wasn't right.
Right, and again, unfortunately, we're 4 minutes, not even 4 minutes into the first half, or the first quarter, and we had to use a timeout already. And again, I'm sure not quite as clean as Coach Dennis would like it to be to start this game.
Clock says 8:37, no score. Both teams possessions. Greencastle fumbled on their first, and then Littlestown went down on downs, and now the Blue Devils have it back. I'm glad to see Spencer's okay. He was the second man through the breakthrough when the team came out, and he sort of stumbled out of it.
Yeah, that's tough when the cheerleaders with the banner knock you down.
Yeah, you don't like that. And he was looking at everybody like, did anyone see that? But Spence, we did.
When you're 6'4" and the starting quarterback, they see you.
Yep. Jet sweep in motion. They give it to the opposite man, to Burton. Burton has some running room now. Breaks through one, goes up over the 40, finally brought down after he goes inside Littlestown territory. Story makes the stop at the 38-yard line, and that is the speed and the moves of the sophomore, isn't he? Demetrius Burton.
Demetrius ran for 56 yards last week on 10 carries. He starts off, he's got over 20 to begin here, and the coaches have been talking about Demetrius Burton since he's been in 8th grade. I know the freshman team was very excited. They moved him up early. He got hurt last year, but this year he's that one, we talk about it all the time in all the sports we do, Greg. That 1 year can make a huge difference physically.
Straight back in the pocket, looking to throw. It's a little screen pass. I think he was down. Yep. He was. I don't even know if he caught the ball. It'd be better if he didn't. They said it was a completion, but it will be for a loss of a yard. So technically, Spencer is 3 for 3, but 1's for a loss. 2nd down and 11 for the Blue
again,
Devils.
as Greg's mentioned earlier, sorry for some of our technical difficulties, but I understand we're back up and running. and we can be heard and seen. So.
Well, not us being seen, but
That's right.
the game can be seen.
And we're not moving the camera. How tough it's been to get it going in the right direction.
Burton again. Ball bopped out, but he brought it back in. He bobbled it a little bit, but he's down to the 37-yard line.
Well, right away you can tell Greencastle has better athletes. As our friend Mike Montadoro likes to say, they look better, and Greencastle looks better in their costumes than Littlestown does right now. It's going to be a matter of taking care of the football. It's going to be a matter of not turning it over and penalties, because we're moving the ball at will.
We did the first series and fumbled it away. We are this time too. It will be Hines to the left of Spencer in this formation. Back to pass, and
I believe we jumped.
We might have jumped. First one here. Yep, procedure against the Blue Devils. First one. Had, 8 to 10 of those last week.
Yeah, and it just looks like our line's just a little anxious. The line's a big question mark for the Blue Devils coming in. That's where all the new players are, but again, they're all seniors who have been in the program for a long time. It's just a matter of getting the nerves out and just concentrating a little bit harder on what your assignment is.
Dante Tyler getting the start this week for Corey Jaron. Jaron out with an injury at the left guard position. Myers from the gun. Heavy rush coming. Now he's going to roll out of the pocket, throw it downfield. He has a man open.
Oh, another nice catch.
Great catch.
Tyler Jeffries
by
again.
Jeffries. Down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line, and it is another Blue Devil first down.
And I think we're going to have a late hit on Littlestown as well. Yep, roughing the passer, and that's going to add 15 more to it. That'll put us down on the goal line, Greg, and Spencer Myers threw the ball up, let his receiver make a play, and Tyler Jeffries has started this season just on about as high a note as you can.
You're absolutely right. Actually, it won't be 15, I guess, because it's going to be half distance to the goal line. Sitting at the 13, be down to the 6.5, and it'll be first and goal for the Blue Devils. So Spencer Myers, 4 for 4 so far in this ball game. Blue Devils have put together 4 first downs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays. They'll put 2 in the backfield. It'll be Hines and Burton. And 2 receivers spread out. Going to give it to Burton on that little reverse, little cross section. Someone's got it from behind, but
tough
keeps
run.
on going, and he gets the throw. He gets the touchdown. He's in. Fumbled at the end. They're still playing, but it was 7 yards out, touchdown. The Blue Devils are on the board.
Great effort by Demetrius Burton there. Just wouldn't be denied. Worked his way through 2 or 3 tacklers for Littlestown. Greencastle again. They're going to put points up this year, Greg. There's no question about that.
52 yards on 5 plays as they will send in Austin Smith. Perfect from the extra point position so far this season, as he has made 3 of 3. Snap is down. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Blue Devils, at 6:09 here in the first half, put 7 up on the board. They lead the Littlestown Thunderbolts 7-0 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpenbroadcasting.com.
Blue Devils set to kick off after the 7 points up on the board for the Blue Devils, as the Smith kick made it that way. As we mentioned, a 5-play, 52-yard drive. Burton caps it off with a 7-yard run, his first touchdown of the year, and they're going to kick it away. and kick it up short. Taking the ball for Littlestown is Sam Watkins. Watkins brings it up to the 39-yard line. That's where they'll have their second possession, 1st and 10.
Seth Martin with a nice tackle on special teams. He's one of the few juniors who gets some regular time. And, with the thinness on the offensive line and the defensive lines this year, Seth Martin might be a name to remember down the road, might become an important part of the Greencastle rotation.
6 minutes and 1 second as we are sitting here in the first half. Actually, a pretty nice night. Last year when we went to Littlestown, the humidity was horrendous. I don't know if it was just in the press box. No, we had people all over the place that were cramping up, and this one much better night here tonight.
It's gorgeous. The field looks great. The atmosphere, as it always is at Cayley Field, is outstanding. And another nice play right now by Andrew Votrell, one of the linebackers, as you said, in the new 3-4 set. It gets more of our athletic kids on the field, and there Votrell makes the play.
Fullback got the carry. He only went 1 yard. And they'll work out of the gun with a man to the right, and they'll have 2 receivers, and they'll send the slot in motion to the far side. And to this side comes Cody, the quarterback, looking to throw, decides to keep it. Boyd on the run and knocked out of bounds, and there's the flag.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sam Sprague just was kind of caught in no man's land there, and kind of maybe late hit, and Coach Dennis is going to let him know about it a little bit. That's going to be an automatic first down for Littlestown.
It will do that. The run was to the 46-yard line, 3 shy of the first down, but they will pick up their first down of the contest as they walk off the 15-yard penalty against the Blue Devils and puts the Bolts deep in Blue Devil territory at the 39-yard line.
Again, big stat to look at is that's Greencastle's second penalty, and that's a big one. That's a 15-yarder at the end of a good run, so that definitely flips the field.
Blue Devils, as we mentioned, 14 penalties for 95 yards in that 32-29 win over Chambersburg last week. 2 men in the back, fakes both, rolls right, throws out here, has it caught after it was tipped. I didn't see who got the tip.
It was tipped by Tyler Graham, I believe, got it.
Completion was made by Andrew Matthews. Made a nice catch on that because he had to come back for the football.
And about those penalties, Greg, we were harping on it because it was so important to last week's game because it just didn't allow the Blue Devils to get in any kind of rhythm or flow. And being a more talented team, we want possessions. Another night, Andrew Votrell's come to play tonight.
Yes, he has. Second time he's been in the backfield, and that was Story trying to get some running room, but nothing there. Ball stopped and placed at the 45-yard line.
With Zach Coons, we have Andrew Votrell, Tyler Jeffries, and Bailey Parker linebacking. Those 4 guys can run with anybody, and they need to make the plays.
One in the backfield, straight back, throwing the ball and completed, but shy of the first down, only about a 3-yard pickup. As it is completed to Tyler Runkles.
And that was nicely defended, Greg, by Liam Okel, who's never played football before this year. Liam, a track star for Greencastle, but is starting at cornerback, and it gives Greencastle another great athlete who can really run.
Another 4th down situation for Littlestown. Last time they went for it, did not get it. This time they're going to go with the fullback, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage. I don't think that he was even close to it. Andrew Matthews again. So the Blue Devils once again will stop on downs and take over the ball deep inside Littlestown territory, this time at the 30-yard line.
I'm going to give props again to Jeremy Anderson, big number 68. Just makes it real tough. Jeremy is listed at 6'1", 310. And that's a big boy to push around in there at the high school level.
Greencastle comes out on offense. Gleichman to the near side at the hash. They'll work from the right hash mark with the wing receiver to the right side, 2 in the backfield, and the handoff this time goes to Hines, who's 9 yards up, close to the first down.
With James Hines, I really like him. He runs so hard. He's not a big guy. He's listed at 5'7", so he's probably not quite that tall. But he just runs, and he always comes through the back of the pile, Greg. And there's a 9-yard carry. Last week, he had, let's see here, he had 31 on 6 carries, he had 31 yards, so he averaged over 5 yards a pop.
So the formation is Spence at shotgun, and Burton is sidecar there. And straight back, looking to pass. Has some time. Throws out here in the flats to Hines. Hines gets the ball down the left sideline. Bruises his way up to about the 49, maybe even the 50-yard line. Now they're going to call it about the 49 and a half. Another first down for the Blue Devils and another pass completion for Spencer Myers.
And 2 things allowed that play to happen. Number 1, the experience of Spencer Myers, 2.5-year starter, looked downfield, nothing was there, threw it to his secondary receiver. But to be able to do that, you need protection. The offensive line did a great job on that possession.
As you can see, ball setting right at the midfield stripe. Blue Devils now working from the left side of the football field. And Burton gets the call, has a hole, and he rumbles up to the 40, still on his feet, still trying to make something happen. Gang tackled by about 3 or 4 or 5 white shirts, not until he gets down to the 32-yard line.
Not a big guy, more known for his speed, but right now he's tough to bring down.
Actually, they'll spot that at the 32. Really, it's been pretty incredible running so far from, and as you mentioned, you knew this guy was in the pipeline, kept waiting for him to get his turn. He's getting it here tonight. Spencer Myers under center with Hines that back, and they're going to give it to Zimmerman, who's trying to go around the outside on that jet sweep. Had nothing there, lost on a yard on the run.
Zimmerman, a real nice surprise. Another junior. We don't have a lot of juniors on the team. Did a great job returning punts and kickoffs last week. Got caught up there on the jet sweep. But again, that's the 5th Greencastle ball carrier. That makes it very difficult, and it also keeps you fresh when the games matter at the end.
I'm just going to say no one should get tired. So the Blue Devils come out. That shotgun formation with receivers both sides. Tight ends to the left. 2-step back, heavy rush, nice fake by Spencer Myers. He's going to keep it and go to the left side. Has some running room over the 25, the 20, and down inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
Just a real nice individual effort there by Spencer Myers. Avoids the rush, gets outside, and turns what could have been a disaster into a first down for the Blue Devils.
I think you mentioned it before. That is the senior experience coming through for the 3-year starting quarterback.
Well, people downplay it, but coaching athletics at the high school level, there's, talent's obviously important, but right next to that, experience. The game slows down, and anyone who's ever played any sport can relate to that. It just gets slower, and it gets easier to play.
Hines gets the call, right side of the line. He goes over and rumbles down. He gets gang tackled at about the 15-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. That interior line, by the way, I don't do a good job all the time of telling you that, but Lee Plaster is the right tackle. He is a senior. Casey Bard, the left tackle. He, too, is a senior. Dante Tyler, a senior, is in right now for the injured Corey Jaron, who's a senior. Sean Walks at left guard, and Tyler at right guard. In the center is Randy Harn, and he, too, is a senior. The tight end, most of the times, either Bray Peck or Tyler Graham. Spencer setting his men up. And he's going to go, looks, throws over the middle, has a open man in Bray Peck. Peck tries to force himself down into the end zone, but manages to get to the 2-yard line.
Spencer Myers has complete control of this offense, Greg. He's moving guys around. He's getting them in the right positions. He's making the right throws. I don't think he has an incomplete pass yet.
Now he's 6 for 6.
And, and again, spreading it around the different receivers. And I'm afraid to say this, and you can blame it on me. There has been no penalties on this drive.
Okay, it will be your fault. 28 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Blue Devils bring the offense up to the line of scrimmage. Myers and Hine in the lone setback. They'll set in motion Measles. Measles gets the call. Sees some running room. He's in for the touchdown. Got hit as he crossed the line, but he gets the TD. Clock will stop at 15.4, and it was a patent Blue Devil drive for the score.
Coach Dennis can't be upset with that. That's about how you practice right there. That was outstanding. Derek Measles did get lit up as soon as he crossed the goal line, but those hits become easier to take when you get 6 points and see the referee with their hands up in the air. I tell you what, Greencastle looks very good tonight, and they're doing what they need to do, Greg.
Smith set to do the extra point. Crispin the holder. The kick is up, and it is good. 15.4 remaining in the first quarter. Blue Devils have extended the lead to 14-0 right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
MidPennBroadcasting.com. Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face.
9 plays, 70 yards, run and pass, no penalties, and an extra point to boot. And the Blue Devils lead this 14-0 in the first quarter. And you said it, and you did not jinx us. I think that's important. And you know what was good?
It is important because you accuse me of being a jinx quite a bit.
I know I do. The other important part was they went back to Measles, who fumbled the last time, and he was able to hold on to it. Confidence in your runners, what you got to do, and it was a good call.
Well, Derek's a huge part of this program, and he's going to be a huge part of the success. He just has to, he didn't play a lot last year because of injury, but he'll be fine.
Dylan Morey takes the kick return at about the 30, brings it up to the 45-yard line for the Bolts. That's where they'll go, 1st and 10. 9 seconds left in the quarter. They'll go get one play in, and then we'll take that first quarter break and come back with quarter number 2 here. Let's see what they do on their first play. On the offensive side, this will be their third offensive possessions. The last 2 ended in 4 and out, so to speak. It is Cody Boyd, the quarterback of record. He's a 6 foot, 160-pound senior on this team. Trips to the right, 1 to the left, and 1 in the backfield in this offensive alignment. They're going to pitch to the 1 in the backfield. That is Story. Story starts the outside, decides to come inside. That's probably not the best place for him to come, as he is taken down there by Chrisman and along with Graham, and it'll be a 3-yard pickup. That's the end of the first quarter. Blue Devils lead this one over Littlestown 14-0 on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Football season is here, and Klein Tours has your ticket and bus transportation to NFL action. We have trips to all Baltimore Ravens home games. Join Klein Tours as we travel to Miami to watch the Ravens play the Dolphins December 6th through 9th. We have your ticket and transportation to see the Washington Redskins. Trips to New York City, Atlantic City, multi-day tours, and more. Klein Tours, the Tri-State's #1 tour and travel agency. Visit us online at kleintours.com or phone 717-597-5997.
MidPennBroadcasting.com.
First play of scrimmage in the second quarter. Boyd, 3-step drop, tried to quick pass it out to his tight end. He got hit as he threw it, and it floats over the head of the intended receiver. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation for the Bolts.
I'm sorry, Greg. Zach Coons, number 85, again with the penetration. Our linebackers are very active tonight. When you go to a 3-4, that's the whole idea. You have 4 athletic linebackers in there making plays, and they're getting it done.
Showing another blitz-type attack. Blue Devils don't blitz much, but they're sending a lot this time. Boyd comes out and almost intercepted. That will be Measles. Measles, that would have been a great catch if he intercepted it. It was overthrown, and that brings up another 4th down situation for them. And this time they are going to punt it away.
And you have Bailey Parker and Kyron Zimmerman, deep. And again, Zimmerman did a real nice job last week.
Yes, he did. It does look like Boyd is their punter, and it's always dangerous when the quarterback is your punter. Right foot gets it up. Nice punt. Going to be taken by, Jeffries touched it. I guess he didn't. Boy, it looked like it. Zimmerman, looked like he touched it, but no.
I think he tried.
Scared me. The crowd went silent there for a moment, and so a great punt. And that will reverse the field in a hurry.
Cody Boyd's a very nice athlete for Littlestown. He's a quarterback. He's on defense. He punts. He's a busy guy. He'll sleep well tonight.
Greencastle takes over possession number 4 in this ball game. They've scored on their last 2. First one was ended by fumble as they were moving downfield.
I think if you're coach right now, Greg, what you'd like to see is another long drive. I think, you're better than Littlestown right now. I don't think there's any question about that. Or you just get Demetrius Burton, who just about broke that. Yes. He was a shoestring away from going about 90 yards there.
Certainly enough for a first down, but you are exactly right on that one. Teams have reverse fields. Greencastle now going from the high school end, the west end, to the primary end. And we're moving left to right on your video screen. And Littlestown defending on the opposite side. Blue Devils 2 in the backfield. Wing to the left and a wide out to the right side. Reverse on the misdirection play. Some running room for Measles up to the middle. He's up over the 50, dragged down in the 48-yard line, and finally brought down there on a touchdown-saving tackle by Jackson Holmbrook, or that would have been 6 more on the board.
Just a lot of weapons, a little staple play of the wing tee, the inside handoff to the wing back, and Derek Measle again breaks it for about 30 yards, and the offensive line just doing an outstanding job. There's holes. The Blue Devils are clicking on all cylinders right now. The coaching staff has to be thrilled with the way they've responded.
Wing to the right, wide out to the left, 2 in the backfield. Working from the center of the field, Spencer Myers play action, completes the pass out here to Hines. Hines has a little bit of running room as he was not guarded coming out of the backfield, and he takes it down to the 36-yard line.
Okay, Greg, we've been harping on this. We have Demetrius Burton get 11 yards. We have Derek Measle get 30 yards. We have James Hines get 10 yards. That's a lot for a high school team to throw at you, and it's just as hard for a defensive coach for a high school team to figure out what's coming next. It's so hard, Littlestown's going to take a timeout and figure it out.
Well, you can't blame them in that situation. Clock is stopped at 10:39. 14-0 is the score here. Blue Devils up on top. It's just really is. It's good to see them click. I think we didn't have a chance in the pregame. We sort of got ourselves behind the 8 ball there on my technical abilities, and but I remained calm and collect for the whole time.
You did. Yeah. I was very impressed with your production ahead of schedule. So
yeah, production ahead of schedule. We got on 10 minutes late because I couldn't find the right camera to use. But we're good right now. But nevertheless, I was going to say that one takeaway I had from the Chambersburg game is that Chambersburg's not as bad as people think they might be. I mean, they had some big kids. They had some quickness. The quarterback played a decent game.
Well, and unfortunately in the world of sports in general, patience isn't a good word at all anymore. And, it's game 1. And we say it all the time, Greg, they're kids. The lights went on, and what happens. Coaches get way too much credit, and they get way too much blame. As James Hines,
First down.
James Hines for 11 yards. That makes coaching look real good when the line's blowing their defensive line back and James Hines is running hard. But the other thing is, I just want to take a minute to say that the Greencastle side is packed. The student sections are here. The cheerleaders are excited. The atmosphere at Cayley Field, and this is a testament to the whole program. People take winning for granted, and they don't understand how hard it is at the varsity level. It's hard.
It is.
And
year
in and year out, Greencastle's where they need to be, and Demetrius Burton's going to take this.
Yeah, he's going to take it the whole way in. He's a nice cut to the outside.
And they're not going to catch him.
Nope. The ball spotted at the 25-yard line, so it was a 25-yard run. Burton's second TD of the night, and the Blue Devils have added 6 up on the board. The route is beginning, and it's just a matter of time until if the Blue Devils hold true. Last year, let me go back to last year, we dominated, and then all of a sudden, Littlestown came out and found a little weakness in our secondary, and they got on the board quick and made it a ball game before the Blue Devils finally put it away. Smith trying to make it 3-on-3 on the night, and he does. Blue Devils up on this one, 21-0, with 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the half on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Kickoff taken by Littlestown and a great return up by Story. We told you Story averaged about 46 yards on every return, so that one was a nice return on his part, and he puts them up to the 42-yard line. Blue Devils last possession, it was 5 plays, 88 yards, Rick, and a 25-yard run by Burton, as we mentioned, his second of the evening, second touchdown, and Smith made it 3 for 3 tonight. He's 6-6 on the year, and the Blue Devils, lead this one 21-0.
And, you know, football is the toughest sport to get behind. They're just getting physically dominated right now. It's a challenge, and let's see if they can put something together.
Almost interception as the pass was intended across the middle to Trenton Hartlub. And Oko, again, as you mentioned, first-year player doing a great job there on the defensive end.
Really is. Got his hand in there to help break it up. And, you know, Coach Lippy is going to have to come up with something to get the spark back. And they're still capable. They just need to put together some sort of drive here for Littlestown.
From the shotgun, heavy rush coming in. And the pass is finally caught after tipped by, it's going to be tipped by Jeffries, and it goes into the hands to McNeil, and it's going to be shy of the first down, and only the second completion of the night for Littlestown.
And this is a huge down right here for Littlestown. They've got to do something to slow down the momentum. They need a first down bad.
Going to put it to Story. Story does get it this time as he goes over and gets the first down on that third down opportunity.
You know, unofficially, that's Votrel's 5th tackle. He's done a real nice job.
Yes, he has. So,
big first down for Littlestown here. Let's see if they can build some momentum and put together something to get some confidence.
3 receivers to the short side of the field, and they do a little pick and roll, get the ball into the hands of Hartlub, and Hartlub gets about 3 yards on that play.
Love the basketball pick and roll, Greg.
Yeah, it works. I don't think it's legal, but it works, right?
Now, when football they call it a rub, so you can't actually pick people. But no, nice set there. Nice tackle though by Greencastle. They recovered and held it to a 2-yard gain.
Be a 2nd down and 7 situation for the Bolts. In motion and rolling to the right is the quarterback Boyd. Boyd's just going to run out of room. Finally brought down in the backfield, but nice trip up that time by Andrew Voltel.
Andrew Voltel right now is the defensive player of the game. He is just everywhere. And you know, I think now if you're Greencastle, you're in control. They're subbing some guys in and out, and you know it's really tough on coaching when you have leads like this and you know you're in control. You know, you want to make sure nobody gets hurt, but you don't want to let up.
Pass thrown over the middle, miscommunication on routes. They go to Littlestown is a no-huddle team. They're getting their calls from the coach on the sideline, and then they come back out, and without a huddle, they go with the play. Going to bring up another 4th down situation for Littlestown. They're going to punt it away again here with 8 minutes to go, and time for the Blue Devils to put yet another score on the board.
Greg, I'm going to call a fake punt here.
Okay.
They got to do something. They're at the Greencastle 49. This would be a perfect place. You said the quarterback is the punter.
And he's going to punt it.
That's why I stick to basketball.
That's right. Well, Jeffries, and a nice block down there by Bailey Parker to free him for a little bit, and he brings it, or Zimmerman brings it up to the 28-yard line. Blue Devils have possession of the football, where they'll bring the offense out once again. So, Blue Devils' last 3 possessions have ended in scores, and Littlestown has not been able to produce much offensively. Last week, only 100 yards total offense, and they gave up 224 yards to one runner from Bowling Springs. Last year, they finished 3-7 in overall. This is Mike Lippy's 12th season there. He's 95 and 42, 69, shade under 70%. That ain't bad.
No, so you know he hasn't forgotten how to coach.
No.
As we talked about, as they say, sometimes it's more about the Jimmies and the Joes and the X's and the O's. Coach Lippy, like you said, has won 70% of his games at Littlestown. They're just on a down streak. And again, we talked about it. People sometimes just take it for granted. You know, in a public school setting, you get who you get, and sometimes the kids are big, sometimes they're fast, and sometimes they're not.
That's right. And you're right. That's just, there is that cycle. Everyone goes through it except for maybe Central Dauphin and Cumberland Valley and Bishop McDevitt.
And size matters.
Yeah, it does. Going to run a fake jet sweep, and Bailey Parker goes high up in the air to get that, and it was Story who really undercut it. It was a nice play, don't get me wrong, and it's an incomplete pass, and that is the first incomplete pass of the ball game for the Blue Devils.
Well, and that is something in years past with Greencastle, with good teams, haven't always been able to throw the ball. They're known as a running team, and the wing T is more of a run-oriented offense. But this year with Spencer Myers, as we said, he started since midway through his sophomore year, and all the weapons they have, they would hurt this team if they didn't pass, and they're doing it.
Hine and Parker in the backfield. Coming out, throwing a screen pass to Bailey
that's
Parker.
Nice.
It was no one in his way. Gets by one, comes over the 45, down the sideline, cuts back in, still on his feet, crosses the 40 down to they're going to spot it at the 40-yard line. Nicely done for the Blue Devils.
Very nicely done. And, from the best seat in the house that you promised me, one thing you can really see here is the patience of the runners for Greencastle. They wait for that right opportunity. They run smart. And again, another weapon, Bailey Parker, who hasn't really touched the ball much these first two games, but another athlete who can make things happen in space.
Tight end to the right and a wing to the right. Two in the backfield, and they're going to give it to Burton. Burton finds some openings and jets through it, and still finally gets knocked down at about the 33-yard line. Going to be shy of the first down.
I tell you what, Coach Franklin up at Penn State would be jealous of this offensive efficiency right now. They are just moving the ball. They're using, they're going down the play sheet, and as an offensive coordinator, he's got to be like this. Coach Floor has to just be like, this is great.
Yeah.
We're shuffling guys in. They're fresh. There's excitement. This is all good stuff that Greencastle's doing tonight.
Hine Parker backfield for the Blue Devils. Spencer up under center. Wide receivers both sides of the field. Snap count is given. It gets to Hine. Hine trying to go to the right side. And there was a fumble. Blue Devils would have recovered it if it would have been a fumble, but it wasn't. Bray Peck there to pick it up, and he heard the whistle, so he didn't go anywhere. So that brings up a third down situation, third and short yardage for the Blue Devils.
And again, talking about the programs, Littlestown has a nice turnout over there. There's over 60 kids on a quick head count, and that's really what are the kids coming out. And if they're coming out, they look well coached. It's just a matter of right now they don't have but this is a good Greencastle team. Let's not make any mistake about this.
Quick hitter to Hine, straight up the middle, no doubt. Got the first down, crosses the 30, down into the 28-yard line. The Blue Devils move the sticks once again.
And we talked about it before. 30 seniors on a varsity team is unheard of out of a group of 70 kids. And then you sprinkle in a Demetrius Burton who gives them another element. And, it's as long as that line holds up against bigger kids and they'll give it their best, that Greencastle could have an outstanding season.
Well, they're looking at it. There is not one team on that 10-game schedule, now remaining 8 after this one, that they cannot beat.
I'd be surprised if they weren't favorites.
Intended for Measles. Measles couldn't hold on to it, and it'll be a drop pass.
Yeah, that was a good pass. Spencer Myers, Derek just had visions of the end zone a little too early.
And it was a great fake by Spencer as he just put the ball down to his side and ran out to the left. And that's part of, too, the experience that you're showing. His fakes are much better. He stays in the pocket. Impressive. One of those passes there, I thought, wow, he's staying too long, but he didn't. It's just incredible what you said experience can do for you.
It just slows the whole game down. It's so hard. You can practice in the backyard throwing all you want until you got all that going on in front of you. You just can't simulate it.
Here comes that screen pass to Parker again. Still some running room. Breaks over to the left side, and he could be gone. There is a flag, and that will be called back. I'm sure that's going to be by Bray Peck, as he was the one that opened that up,
I think there's 2 flags down,
Oh, okay.
Greg. Bray Peck looks guilty.
Well, it was a beautiful, again, what was that called? Just illegal block in the back. So, again, that is just the first penalty. This is a celebration. First penalty of the second quarter. They have gone almost 10 minutes, maybe even 12 minutes without a penalty. That one's going to bring that one down. And Bailey Parker, chance to get on the scoreboard, he has to bring it back.
Yeah, that's got to be a little frustrating, but
they
that happens. And, you can't fault the line tonight. They've done an outstanding job. Part of Spencer Myers' success is he's got the time to carry out the fakes. He's got the time to look for other receivers.
Quick out pass. Oh, there's a flag on the play, and that was a quick pass to Zimmerman, but they're going to, I don't know who that's going to go
I'm not
against.
sure what this is going to be, but illegal shift maybe.
It's going to go against the Blue Devils. That will be 2 consecutive. Waiting for the call. Just 5 yards, so I believe it is.
Legal procedure to call against the Blue Devils.
I think 2 guys moved at the same time, and that was what was happening last. Now, again, we played a real clean first half. We don't want to get sloppy here, and it's just about, it's just habits. And you just want to get that penalty bugaboo out because that will come back to really hurt you in a big game.
It can and it does.
Again, this is a formation we didn't utilize last year. You got Bray Peck split down here, and he's got about a 5-inch height advantage. And it looks like they're going to him.
Spencer Myers stops and throws, and it is not almost intercepted. In and out of the hands.
That pass ball is incomplete.
Incomplete, trying to get the number. It appears to be 83. That would have been Trenton Hartlub, and it will be an incomplete pass.
It looked like we had 2. Actually, that was Bray Peck, 83. I think we had 2 receivers. Kyron Zimmerman and Bray Peck almost ended up in the same spot. So I'm not sure if that was where everybody was supposed to be on that. And Spencer kind of split them. So let's see what happens here. It brings up a 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're kind of in no man's land right now. But it's a long 4th down, about 4th and 20.
Well, they're up 21-0 with 4 minutes to go in the quarter into the half. Myers from the gun. Has his hand. Knocked in. It's intercepted right here on the right sideline by Dylan Morey. Morey still on his feet and finally brought down at the 30-yard line. This time the stop is made by Dante Tyler. As we mentioned, Tyler getting the start in this ball game at the right guard position. He makes the recovery. So the INT puts Littlestown in great position.
And more concerning is Spencer Myers is holding his shoulder as he comes off the field. He got hit as he let it go, and the trainers are going to take a look at him now.
That is the important part of this one right now. You're correct. So Littlestown will take over their best field position at the 29 in Greencastle territory. Split the backs in the pro set, and receivers both sides are going to give it to Story. Story trying to go to the right side. Volchel reaches from behind and brings him down. And then Sprague finishes it off, and the ball will be set at the 32.
You know your defense is playing well when you haven't said the name Sam Sprague, Matt Chrisman, the safeties we haven't even mentioned. That things are getting taken care of up front tonight.
2nd and 8. Clock running at 3:24. Full house. Well, I see what they're doing. They're running the pro set and the pistol from it. And Boyd will roll to his right, fire down there. It is tapped by Parker and then in and out of the intended receiver's arms of Tyler Runkles and Okel in the coverage. It is an incomplete pass.
That's about the 3rd or 4th tipped pass that Greencastle has been able to do up on the line. But again, I'm watching. Spencer has his helmet off, and the trainers are checking him out. Hopefully he'll be okay. That would be the last thing you would need in a game like this.
Matt Chrisman, I believe, is the backup.
Wouldn't be surprised if Cade McDowell would also
be. He gets some playing time. Throws and great defensive pass interference going to be called against Measle or
By pass incomplete, penalty flag, Georgia flag.
I believe Chrisman was the other defender.
yeah, you're right. And the intended receiver was Hornbrook, and so that will be. Now remember, this isn't pro or it's not going to be at the spot unless they call something different. If it's pass interference, it's from the line of scrimmage. That's what it is.
Yep, 15-yard penalty.
Which takes them close to the spot, down to about the 13. Now, foolish me, I'm the jinx this time because I said Blue Devils only 2 penalties and none in the second quarter, and in the last 5 minutes they picked up 3, amounting to 30 yards.
Okay, so let's look at that. In the last 3 minutes, we picked up what'd you say?
3
penalties and an interception.
Yep.
So, and that's what we were concerned about coming in.
Story tries to go around the right side, cuts back in, and gets down near that goal line.
Nice run.
Yeah, first down for him, and first down for the Littlestown Thunderbolts. Be a first and goal with plenty of time for Littlestown. Again, and you can't emphasize it enough. Penalties and turnovers, and suddenly you're going to let Littlestown back in the game.
And you're I'm sorry, Greg, didn't mean to cut you off, but exactly right. 21-7's a lot different than 21-0, and it's all about the penalties and the turnovers.
So Chuck Taninis goes out to talk to his defensive team at this point in time. It's something he's not quite happy about, and that's understandable as they knock on the door here trying to get a score. This would be, Rick, their first score of the ball game or of the season.
The year, yep.
Yeah, so that's important for them to get it in at this point in time. Do want to remind you that this broadcast brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com, an equal housing lender. See if the Blue Devils can hold on here. So it is a first down and 2 to go. 2 in the backfield, one wide receiver split to the far side, and they're going to give it to the fullback. No one's there. He walks in from the right side. The touchdown will be credited to Dylan Sizemore, and they are on the board at the 2:47 mark.
Well, they did a nice job. Littlestown is with what their score and stats were from last weekend, they're better than I thought they were going to be coming in, to be very honest with you, Greg. And, we got a ball game now.
Well, we do. 4 plays, 29 yards. See what they do. It doesn't look like they're sending a kicker out to do anything. Boyd is calling the play, so it does look like they're going to go for 2. Or no, they do have a kicker. That's going to be number 56 for them. And that is Ryan Dickensheets. He's a 5'11", 295-pound kicker. Shades of Penn State here, huh?
If this is old school, he's going to kick this straight on Mark Mosley style.
Yep. Toes it up. And through the uprights it goes. We got 2:47 left in this one. They edge it closer, 21-7. Blue Devils still lead right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpennbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on midpennbroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on midpennbroadcasting.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is midpennbroadcasting.com.
2-yard run by Sizemore for Littlestown. 4-yard run, gets them on the board. It was a 4-play, 29-yard drive as they started from their own 29-yard line, or the Blue Devils' 29-yard line. Kick is good, and it is 21-7. Blue Devils will get the ball back. 2:47 to go here in the half. Squib kick, touched and covered at the 38-yard line.
Caleb Root jumps on it for Greencastle, and they'll have good possession here with 2:45 left.
Well, plenty of time for the Blue Devils. They scored with, they went half the field last week in just 10 seconds. So certainly can do something here working from the 34-yard line. So Blue Devils still in their own territory. Myers back under center. They're going to run that misdirection. And Littlestown saw it coming. Ooh, man. I'm not even sure who got the ball that time. Is that
Derek
Measle?
Measle,
Yeah.
He got hammered by Jackson Hornbrook for Littlestown. That's a second very hard hit Derek's taken.
He's been crunched. Talking about Chalk Talk, we're not sure if Chalk Talk will be aired. It may, but Chambersburg plays Thursday night. Same time Chalk Talk's on. We'll talk about that at halftime coming up here in about 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Bootleg rolling left. Spencer has some time. Fires it down. Completes the pass to Measle. Measle has the first down on the completion as he gets over the midfield stripe to the 44-yard line.
Again, the offensive line just gave Spencer Myers a ton of time. Derek Measle came from the right side all the way to the left hash, looking out on the field, and was able to get separation, and Spencer put it right on him.
Speaking of the hash, the left hash is where Greencastle, moving left or right, sets up the offense this time. Oh, everybody jumped. I saw 2 jump on that one. It was interesting last week, and if you read the paper, they talked about the penalty. Spencer said his voice wasn't being heard over that big crowd and that big band Chambersburg has. Now, granted, Chambersburg bands probably has more in it than Littlestown fans here tonight, and it is loud. But that is another motion penalty against the Blue Devils. So now in the last, I'm going to say 6 minutes, they've picked up 4 more penalties.
Well, it's funny you said that. I saw Spencer during the week, and I asked him about that. And I said, young man, the games you want to be playing in this year, you want it loud.
That's right. From the shotgun, has some time, throws it up here, completes the pass to Peck. What a nice grab by Peck. Just nothing but hands. And it is down past the 40. Does he go out of bounds? Yes. Clock is stopped at the 122 mark, and the ball is placed at the 37.
Pretty play. And Spencer Myers has really had a great half. He has just controlled the offense, and that was right on the money. As you said, Bray Peck just caught it with all hands and stepped out of bounds to stop the clock.
Where it needed to be. It needed to be out a little way from the defender. So Myers comes from the gun again with Burton to his left. They'll send Measle in motion to the far side. And a little draw play gives it to Burton. Burton is roped up and taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time. Nice call, though.
Very nice call. We don't do that very often. The draw play out of the shotgun. Dan Dudenhofer with a very nice play for Littlestown. Wrapped up Demetrius Burton. And Greencastle's going to get a timeout here with 1:16 left in the half. And the ball's at the 38-yard line. So they're going to figure out what they're going to do in this pretty important 3rd down here. But again, Greg, they're pretty much in no man's land. It's 2-down territory.
Well, it is. And, really, except for that one drive there, which was only 29 yards, defense has been dominating Littlestown. So you really have nothing to lose here at the 1:16 mark. Do you get, what I really like to see is they get it close enough for Smith to try a field goal. He has one from 18 yards away, but, here's the games you get him in and test his foot out.
Yep. No, I agree. I think that's a really good point. This game's not over by any means, but you feel good, you're in control. It'd be nice to learn something about your team as well.
Spencer up under center, and the lone setback is Burton. Bailey Parker in the slot to the right.
They don't have anyone covering the slot.
Nope, and there it is to Measles. Measles makes the grab and down up over the 35. He was wide open.
I looked 3 times and pointed. You can't see me on air. I pointed out there. That was shocking. Greencastle going to the hurry up now, and they're going to spike the ball. And again, here's where you see senior leadership. Here's where you see kids who have been through it. There was no panic. They're doing what needs to be done, and now they have, again, 3 downs from the 23-yard line.
Now, I don't know statistically, is a spiked pass an incomplete pass?
Let me go to our football expert. He is nodding yes.
He is nodding yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is a pass, and it is done for that reason. So Myers from the shotgun, left hash mark, moving left to right. Wide side, two receivers. Timing pattern for the corner, and overthrows Bray Peck. As you heard the crowd moan, and Peck laid out for it, but he couldn't bring it in.
But back to what you were saying, Spencer put that right out there where only Bray Peck could make a play. Nice pass.
That is the second time in this run. Spencer has thrown a lot of passes. This could be, I have no idea if it would be a Greencastle-Antrim throwing record, but what he's going to end up here at halftime is a heck of a lot of passes. Sometimes the quarterback for Greencastle did not throw that many passes in the whole year.
That's exactly right. And that's a credit to the coaching staff. They know what they have, and they're adapting to it.
Spencer steps up in the pocket, has some running room, trying to get to the outside to get out of bounds, and he's hit from behind. A nice tackle by Duffenhofer, and that puts Blue Devils at a third down situation.
Littlestown has some nice athletes. Duffenhofer, 6'2", 200 pounds.
And here comes Smith, as we said. His attempt will be from 32 yards out.
And this is a nice length field goal.
Yeah, it is. 32-yard field goal attempt. Snap is down. The left footer gets it up. Has the distance. Yes, it is good. So with 27 seconds left, Blue Devils get to pull all the weapons out. And Smith hits his longest field goal of the season. Now he's 2 for 2. Had an 18-yarder last week to win the ball game. This one a 32-yard field goal. Blue Devils up on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePM.com 24-7. Halftime not far away. Stay tuned. We'll talk about the Blue Devils first half. We'll also look a little bit at what the other teams the Blue Devils will be facing, who they're playing this week, and get that all caught up at halftime on the Antrim Insurance Halftime Show right here on midpenbroadcasting.com. Greg Hoover, Rick Lewis, thanks for joining us on a beautiful night for football. You couldn't make it to the game. I'm glad you tuned in. By the way, record ratings last week for Mid-Penn Broadcasting. The biggest, it's easy with the computer. You know how many people tune in. And we set a record. I'm not sure the exact number. Gary did tell me over 1,000 people viewed the ball game last week. Smith kicks it away here to the 30-yard line. Up back takes it, and he's still on his feet, breaks a tackle or two, and finally brought down. That's Tyler Runkles, and he gets out of bounds with 21 seconds left. The clock would have stopped anyway. So,
well, back to your point about Austin Smith. So, you know he can kick under pressure. Had to do that last week. Now you know he's good from 30, and that would have been good for probably close to 40. And, you know, the clock was running down on him there as well. So, all the offensive weapons the Blue Devils had, now you can add a kicker as another offensive weapon. It's going to get down to the deep. Can we guard? Can we defend the pass? We really haven't been tested with that tonight, and the penalties and turnovers.
They give it to Story. Story breaks out of one tackle, was hit originally in there that time by Voltrel, and Tyler Graham, and he spins out of it, but the initial stop, he gets to the line of scrimmage. Great play.
You know, one thing I can tell you, Greg, the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils will not be outmanned by anybody on their schedule this year.
No, they won't. We'll review that schedule. Talk a lot more about the first half as it has come to an end here. The Blue Devils dominating this one. They lead at 24-7 at the half on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. Use home equity funds for big purchases or to pay off high-interest bills. Apply today and rake in even more savings with F&M Trust special introductory offer. Visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Terrain dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpenbroadcasting.com.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good
Welcome back to Kelly Field, Greencastle-Antrim School District. It is halftime here with the Blue Devils up on top, the Littlestown Thunderbolts by a 24-7 score. Our halftime show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Well, in this one, the Blue Devils took control early, didn't let up. First offensive series, they started moving the ball, but on a second down situation, after 2 first downs, they fumbled it away. Littlestown turned it over on downs. Then the Blue Devils put together a 5-play, 22-yard drive. Burton took it over from 7 yards out. The kick was good. It was 7-0. Another 4 and out for Littlestown, and another 9-play, 70-yard drive by the Blue Devils. 4 yards out for Measles on the run. Kick was good. Suddenly it's 14-0, and the first quarter coming to a close. A punt situation for Littlestown. Now they're 0 for 3. Burton gets the second touchdown of the season and of the game. 5 plays, 88 yards for the Blue Devils. And then Littlestown punts again. Then Blue Devils with an interception, and Littlestown was able to convert from 29 yards out on a 4-play drive. And then the Blue Devils, on the last drive of their possession, they went 34 yards. They went 7 plays, 66 yards, field goal by Austin Smith from 32 yards away, made it 24-7, and Littlestown ran the clock out to end it. So, in essence, Rick, pretty good first half of play for the Blue Devils offensively and defensively.
The defense really shined. They held Littlestown to that 1 touchdown, but that was after a turnover, and the penalty bugaboo popped up a little bit, but overall the offense was extremely efficient, and they showed the whole playbook tonight. As you mentioned, Spencer Myers, the weapons, Derek Measle, Bray Peck, Demetrius Burton, James Hines. You go on and on and on with the weapons they've thrown to. And you got to remember, we're not using Sam Sprague on offense, who was one of the leading receivers and rushers last year due to his knee injury, which I think over time they'll start to work him into the offense. So a lot of positive. Austin Smith looks like an offensive force as a kicker. Still want to get a cleaner game from the penalties. The turnovers, I'm going to give him a little bit of pass. Besides the 1 fumble, Spencer was hit. And but the offensive line, again, we mentioned Dante Tyler stepped in and has done a real nice job. Harnett center, and those kids have really played well. It looks, all of them deserve credit. Sean Walk, Casey Bard, Lee Plaster. We said Randy Harnett center, and Dante Tyler has stepped in as a senior. Again, senior. These kids have played freshman football. They've played JV football. They've waited their turn, and they're playing well.
The unofficial statistics, and again, they're me keeping them during the game. That's how unofficial
But
they
I'm
are.
watching, and you do a heck of a job.
Oh, thank you. Spencer Myers completed his first 7 passes in a row. All 6 in the first quarter were completions. He's 11 for 16. One was dropped, and one was spiked. So you take those 2 away, it's even more impressive than that. Blue Devils have committed 6 penalties for 55 yards. Again, the thorn in the side. They could equal what they did last week. If they continue that way, they have to change that. But they are up in this one, 24-7. So what do you do at halftime? What do you say to them? Defense playing well.
I think it turns into, and I hate to say it, we all have them, a speech for each occasion. This turns into, don't lose your focus. Let's come out, and I know you're a big proponent of those first 5 minutes set the tone for the game in the second half. Let's get control. Let's put them away, and let's get some other guys some playing time.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you have good teams, they get that, and they get the fact that my buddy doesn't get into the game a whole lot, and I have a chance to get him into the game. And a lot of the good teams get that, and they thrive on that. So I think that's the speech. Hey, let's play for some of your teammates right now who don't get in, because if we can put another 2 touchdowns on here, we can really make this a fun night for everybody.
Yeah, well put. And I think you're right. Particularly this group, as you said, with 30 seniors, they should know that everybody needs to get into this ball game, and hopefully that'll be the case. However, you got to come out and play in the second half. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the schedules throughout the area here, see what's going on. We'll check out that right here on the Halftime Show on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on MidPennBroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is MidPennBroadcasting.com.
We are at the half of the halftime show, brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie insurance agents serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, and Mercersburg in surrounding areas. You heard about Chalk Talk, and I teased earlier about Chalk Talk maybe not be on because Chambersburg is playing Lower Dauphin Thursday night. 6 p.m. is the start time on that one at the Big House up in Hershey. Evidently, they share that stadium with Hershey High School. And so evidently there's a concert one of the nights, so they have to play Thursday and probably Friday, and then Saturday's probably the concert. So a rare Thursday ball game. Now, we have the ability, we have the technology to run both at the same time, but I don't know if if Gary and Mike want to compete against each other. I don't know, but I had to laugh. You were saying is you came up at the beginning of the ball game, and I'm trying to get a camera hooked up, and you basically said, I don't think Monday Night Football has this problem, and I don't think they do either. But we are happy to bring you 2 games at a time as we do right now. Chambersburg in their ball game with Shippensburg at Shippensburg, must-win situation for Chambersburg, and if you're Shippensburg, man, you're 0-1. You want to get back on the ways too. Should be a pretty good game on that one for them. So. Who you like on that one?
I think I'm going to go with you as far as, well, I was going to say Chambersburg, but can I change my mind now? We just got a quick update. The latest update we have is Shippensburg's up 13-7 over Chambersburg, and I think you're right. I think that's an absolute crucial game for Chambersburg due to the fact that it's the league is so tough.
Yeah.
They can't lose their non-conference games.
No, and Lower Dauphin will be their last chance at that one. And Lower Dauphin usually pretty decent program. So that one's a tough one. And again, that'll be Thursday night, and you can watch that game right here on Mid-Penn Broadcasting and Game Time PA. The other games we want to watch, Big Spring at Dover. And what makes that one interesting, Rick, is Dover beat Shippensburg last week.
And Dover's up 14-9 right now. So that's a good close game. We have East Pennsboro at 17, West Perry at 0, and that's important because West Perry is who Greencastle plays.
That's right.
Fairfield is up 14-0 on James Buchanan, and we have Waynesboro up 7-3 at Biglerville.
Now last year Waynesboro went to Biglerville and lost that ball game. I think that was a little bit of the demise of their coach at the time because he just couldn't understand how they got beaten that one. Actually, no one did, but they did, and so they're back up there now. Kennerdale last week they came through with a win. I'm a big Andy Stoner fan at James Buchanan, but boy, it's going to be a tough year if they can't get by Fairfield, and they lost to Hanover last week, was it? Yeah. Who's, their games, they're must-win games in their category too.
Well, and I was saying, I had this conversation with a lot of guys. Baseball, basketball, the weather's good. It's controlled in there. You're not physically getting beat up, for lack of a better term. Playing on a football team that's not very good, when you're outgunned every week. The weather starts turning. Football practices are tough. It turns into a very long season, and it's very, very difficult. Basketball, we've all been through it where you just get beat by 40, and you know what? You just take the ball out of your hoop a lot more. Nobody's getting physically dominated, and it's not as demoralizing. So it really, I would imagine for a football coach, it becomes very difficult to keep your team engaged the whole season if you're struggling that bad.
I have to agree with you, and again, if they can't pull one off tonight, it could be the start of it has started to be a long season for the James Buchanan Rocket. Next week, Blue Devils, as you mentioned, West Perry, it is here. That is the advantage, though I do enjoy the drive up over the mountains to West Perry. It's a great place to watch a football game, but they will be at home against the Blue Devils next week. 7 o'clock will be our start time, and Rick and I will be here giving you the play-by-play action as audio and video, giving you both as we're going to do all season long. Going to take a short break and here on the Antrim Insurance Halftime Show, and we'll return with the remainder of the show right after these messages on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
When you're ready to break away from the routine and step into a hassle-free world of fun and adventure, Klein Tours is the partner you need to make fantasy a reality. For more than 20 years, Klein Tours Incorporated has taken care of all the details for people traveling from the four-state region of South Central Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and Winchester, Virginia area. Whether you're looking for a 1- or 2-day tour to the bright lights of New York City or the fun and excitement of Atlantic City, we've got you covered. And we offer special bonus packages so you can get more for your hard-earned dollar. Klein Tours is not only your source for major sports events and tickets to Broadway shows, we also offer multi-day air trips to destinations like Las Vegas and New Orleans. Subscribe to our newsletter for travel updates, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Our online travel center features real-time availability and purchasing is easy. Tours can also be reserved by phone at 717-597-5997.
This is a production of MidPennBroadcasting.com, where over 70 local sporting events a year stream live to your PC, laptop, phone, and tablet.
Mid-Penn Broadcasting.
Both teams back on the field here as the second half getting ready to start on the F&M Trust Sports Network. It is a 24/7 ball game. Greencastle on top. Your halftime show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. And as the half does come to an end, Rick, you mentioned it just a break there. We awfully proud of the facilities at Greencastle-Antrim, and we a year ago purchased a new scoreboard with hopes of selling advertisement that would help pay for the scoreboard. There were 6 advertising spots. We're down to one left. As I'm trying to, I do know this without really looking at it, but Fast Signs and Picture Plus, along with, what's that company,
Guernsey or something like that.
Is that something to do with cows? But no, I know that's your company, and we thank you for that. And then along with Antrim Way Honda, Graphics Universal has bought one of the other big ads up there. So that board's almost filled, and we're very proud of that, and we're hoping that we can fill that as a way to fund some of the improvements here at Cayley Field. I don't know if you can hear the ooze.
I did hear them.
The ooze are every time they announce a score from someone else, like Buchanan losing by 0 or something like that. Someone go ooh like that. So it's interesting that the fan is reacting to that. Well, they put 2 more minutes back up on the board at halftime. I'm not really sure why, but everybody's out and ready to go.
You know, we were talking earlier, Greg, about you asked me is Shippensburg and the Chambersburg game who it's more important to. It's you know, I know I'm in the minority on this. I would just love, and we said it during the basketball season, for Chambersburg to join our league. I think it would improve the whole level of play. I know they're in our league for golf, and I know, you know, football the last couple of years, Greencastle and Shippensburg have been very competitive with them to be successful. You know, baseball's competitive with all of them. Basketball is very competitive. I think it would bring the Colonial Division up, and I think it would be good for Chambersburg, and obviously financially, and you know that's not one of my concerns, but I think it would be great for the whole Franklin County to be in the league together.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that. Mifflin County, who's been struggling through some football woes, will most likely join the Colonial Division next year. So we're going to have a long trip in football it's above. Well, it's before State College, but it's up there a ways. But they just want to come back and catch their breath more than anything else. I was a big proponent. I was hoping, and since most Chambersburg fans will not be listening to this broadcast right now, I was hoping they would split their high schools at Chambersburg. When they talked about it, they talked a little bit about having 2 high schools instead of 1 mega high school. They would have done that. That would have been perfect. 2 high schools, the same size, still been
2 quad A schools.
Yeah, they still would have been pretty big schools, and they could have come down here and been in a league with Tuscarora, James Buchanan, Waynesboro, Greencastle, Chambersburg, A and B, Shippensburg, Big Spring. That would have been a great league for us. Not a lot of travel, and everybody knows everybody. But that's not the case. I still think they can drop down. I tell you where they're very strong. They're very strong in their cross country and track, and they're very strong in golf, and they're very strong in not only golf but in tennis and things like that. We don't always participate in that. We can compete right now with them and have been competing in the 2 big sports, 3 big sports actually. If you look at softball, at baseball, and you look at football, and you look at basketball, I think you're right. Yes, basketball. Girls and boys. So here we go. Start of the second half. Greencastle in the home blue is going to move left to right here from the high school end to the primary end of the schools, or if you're directional in that way, it's west to east. Austin Smith will kick off from the 40-yard line. Drives this one back and is taken at the 22. Littlestown will try to get something going here on the kickback, and they only break it about 10 yards up to about the 41-yard line. Running the football that time was Colin McNeil. And so out comes the offensive team for Littlestown. Here's an opportunity for them, Rick, if they come back and get a score here, it is a ball game.
If they score here, it's a whole different conversation. You know, and I know you're big again on the first 5 minutes of the second half, And really think about how big a 7-point swing is either way. 7 points for Littlestown, it's a 10-point game, and they're right in a 2-possession game. If Greencastle scores, it balloons up to 31-7, and you're putting subs in. So and I think Littlestown, number 65, got a little anxious there.
Someone did. That's a procedure penalty against the other team, which is always good to see for once. That's a 5-yard penalty. They're only the second of the ball game for Littlestown. They had one, a 10-yarder earlier on, and this one is number 2, 5 yards back, so 1st and 15 for them.
And that's not to start Littlestown needed. They're having challenges gaining yards as it is. Cody Boyd, their quarterback, has been working hard, along with number 23, Wesley Story, and they're going to need a big performance by them in the second half.
Looking to pass, overthrow, pass intended out there for the gentleman who just ran the kickback, Colin McNeil, second down on the incomplete pass. For, I'm sorry, lost Bard's name there for a minute. For Bard, he was 2 of 7 in half number 1, 0 for 1 here in the second half. He'll come up under center.
And this is nitpicking, but I'd like to see us get a little more pressure on the quarterback.
He's going to roll our way, throws out here and completes the pass, but he's hit right away by Chrisman and down for a loss on the play.
Matt Chrisman, another senior, 5'7", 160 pounds, came up in just a perfect form tackle to hold that play to no gain.
So it brings a 3rd and 14, 3rd and 13 situation for Littlestown. They'll work from the left hash mark as they move left to right. Wide side to the right side. Looked like a little motion to me, but no flag. Throwing down here, an incomplete pass. Again, the intended receiver was McNeil.
And again, with our athletic linebackers, Bailey Parker really made that play. He's getting in the sight line, and Boyd had to throw it over him. Bailey jumps well. The pass has to go high. We have about 3 or 4 deflections, and they're not at the line of scrimmage. They're back at that second line with the linebackers, and Andrew Votrel played a phenomenal first half, so all 4 of the linebackers have been very active.
Boyd will stand at his own 24-yard line to punt it away. Low snap, but he gets it away, and it's going to shank to the left and go out of bounds, I hope, and finally it does. Down inside the 30-yard line, nice punt. That's his second pretty decent punt for him. And at 3 and out, they turn the ball over to the Blue Devils. Normally in a situation like this, you would think that the Blue Devil starters maybe get the third quarter. If they score right away, maybe not, but we'll see what happens here as the Blue Devils bring their offense out for the first time here in the second half.
Be interesting with the play selection as Greencastle, as you said, threw the ball an awful lot in the first half. I wonder if they'll come out a little more traditional wing T here.
16 times to be exact in the first half, completing 11 of them. First is the handoff to Hines. Hines been running hard up to the 33-yard line for the senior.
Runs hard, protects the ball, and again, they're getting chunks, and the offensive line continues to do a nice job.
Greencastle, as we mentioned, at home next week against West Perry. For Littlestown, they will take on York County Votech, and again, one they circle for a victory. It's one they, I'm trying to see, they did not beat them last year. And this is Burton. Burton trying to gain some running room, just buries his shoulders and keeps on moving, keeps lifting his knees to get over the 40 to the 41 for a first down.
I knew Demetrius Burton was fast. I didn't know he was this strong. He's not an overly physical size guy, but he's a very strong runner, and he's had a great game tonight.
At the 41, 1st and 10. As we mentioned last year, the 3 wins came against Bowling Springs, Hanover, and Fairfield. They lost to York Votech last year.
They're in the YAI Division III, correct, Greg?
That is correct. And have shared the title with Meridian Springs over the last decade. Nice straight run by Hines. And that's, again, what a hole that he had to run through. Give him credit for the run. But you got to give Blue Devils the interior line again. A Plaster, Bard, Tyler, Walk, and Harn. Credit on that one.
What I like is I see kids playing with a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an attitude. I saw offensive linemen high-fiving each other. And, those guys work hard. They don't have a lot of extra energy up there. And for them to take that kind of pride in a run like that, that's pretty good stuff.
Ray Peck, the tight end on the right side, 2 receivers on the left side, 1 in the slot, 1 in the wide out. Going to give it to the first man through, and that was Hines. But this time, it was read well by Zach Mace. And Mace lets everyone know that he just got a sack.
Yep, nice play. He got in there, And, got to give Littlestown and their coaching staff credit. Their kids are still playing with passion. They're still playing with excitement. And, they're not giving up. And that's, as we said, it's hard. It's hard to get out there and be, basically out-physicaled. And they're doing a nice job of hanging in here and giving it everything they have.
Tyler Jeffries brings in the play. He'll go to the wide side and the left side. They'll work from the right hash mark. Wing in motion. That is Measle. Measle trying to go around the left side of the jet sweep. Cuts back in with some running room and about an 8-yard pickup on the play, as it looked like they were going to string him out, but he made a nice cut up for, again, the 8-yard gain.
And again, they're rotating bodies in. Jeffries out, Graham in, Bailey Parker in. You're trading weapons for weapons, size for size. This is one of those years if everybody stays healthy.
That's right.
Everybody can play a clean game and not have the penalties. If we don't turn the ball over, this has a chance to be a very nice season for the Blue Devils.
That it does. They lead this one 24-7, 8:23 remaining in the third quarter. Wing formation, everybody in tight. They're going to give it to the running back, Hines. Hines is very close to that first down marker. I don't think he has it from our vantage point, but even though we have the best seat in the house, our vantage point isn't that good. Well, there he got it. He got it anyway. Heck, what do I know?
When Vern McCulley says he got it, he got it.
He got it. First down, Blue Devils. So 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. I'm a little scared because our cameraman's trying to hook up something. And bless Keith's heart, we had a rough time in the beginning. Hine gets the call again, straight up the middle off the right tackle, and he goes up to over the 30, down close to the 25-yard line. Just keeps moving and moving.
It does, and then the line, and they've come out a little more, what I'll say, traditional out of the wing tee, and they're just running the ball right down Littlestown's throat right now, and there's just not much Littlestown can do about it.
They started this drive at their own 25-yard line with a 2nd and 2.5 facing the Blue Devils. Everybody in tight except for one wide out to the near side here, and they're going to give it to Burton. Burton through the middle. Oh, nice scoot out to the left side. Stiff arms. One of his defenders gets over the 20, gets the first down, and goes down, and there is another first down for the Blue Devils. I saw that football go up near the official. I thought for a moment it might be a flag, but it wasn't.
Nope, we're still good, and just very clean drive.
So 1st and 10 from inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Blue Devils break huddle. They are going to send Jeffries wide to the near side. Wing is Measles to the left. Straight up the middle on the call. And Hines, the ball carrier, and he makes it 3 yards up to the 15-yard line. The Blue Devils, again, if they could score here and have just about 6 minutes left in the third quarter, that would be a nice drive. I'm assuming we're running out of battery. And I'm assuming that one's not fitting. That's what I'm here for, just to assume. Spencer shotgun
Hence
position.
the sweat on our cameraman.
Yes, that's right. Jet sweep, but a whistle and motion penalty. Could be some other. You're going to have to look and see if there's any other thingamabobs, I think is the technical name, to see what we can put in there. Another motion penalty against the Blue Devils. I will say the first of the second half, they had 6 in the first for 55 yards. You may remember, as we talked about it, probably way too much, 14 penalties, 95 yards last week. So for them to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here in this ball game in the third quarter, that's not too bad. 3 turnovers last week. We mentioned about they lost 2 fumbles and had an interception, so it was 3. And this week they have 2. Littlestown yet to turn the ball over. Spencer under center in motion. That was a double. Was that going to be a delay of game? Yeah, it's the delay of game against the Blue Devils.
Delay of game they're calling against the Blue Devils.
Man, they did that last week, and they're doing it again this week.
You got to get the plays in a little bit quicker from the sidelines on that. Spencer Myers is giving the motion, let's go. So hopefully we can get that area cleaned up.
From the 25 now, 2nd and 17. In motion will come Measles to the near side, and Spencer Myers looking to throw right across in the back. The little screen pass to Bailey Parker doesn't get a lot of yardage, if any.
And that play was very successful in the first half, but this time Jacob Beal, the 6'3", 235-pound defensive end, stayed at home and made the play.
First pass of the half for the Blue Devils, and it is a completed pass. So to the near side comes Jeffries again. In the slot right beside him is Measles, and in the other slot is Peck. Spencer from the shotgun. Timing pattern down for Peck, and it is knocked down. Great defensive play by number 1. That is Cody Boyd, their quarterback.
And that's probably the first pass I would say Spencer didn't put it where it needs to be. Kind of hung up there a little bit, and the Littlestown was able. Boyd made a nice play on it.
They're going to trot Austin Smith back onto the field again. Another attempt at a field goal. This one will be straight at the 30, so it becomes a 40-yard field goal attempt for the senior. Snap is down. Kick, line drive. No, short of that one. It just wasn't a good kick. I don't know. And a lot of times, not necessarily the kicker's fault. You got to see where the snap was, where the holder was. You know these things when your son was a kicker. So why'd you miss that one? It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yep, football is probably the most dependent sport of any sport. You know, we were talking about the other sports. You know, baseball, you go 4 for 4 and you lose by 7. There's not much more you can do. Football, you're so dependent on all your teammates, and there's a chance, and maybe Austin from that distance, I think that's about the limit right there. Might have overkicked, if that's the right term.
Well, I'm sure he's made that in practice. They wouldn't have sent him out probably without doing that. Littlestown has the ball, 25-yard line in their own territory. They give the ball to Story. Story around the right side, 15, 20 yards. And still trying to make something out of nothing, and he gets up over the 40, probably to about the 41-yard line.
You can see why Littlestown missed Story last week. He's a big part of their offense and is a nice ball carrier. And here again, we're letting Littlestown hang around, and they get some momentum and put some points on the board. You know, we're going to be in for a game here in the second half.
I formation, wide out to the right side, gives it to the tailback. Tailback straight up the middle. And is stopped after a 4-yard gain. He'll take 4 yards on first down.
Absolutely. You know, I'm not a big Mike Montadoro is definitely the football coach here, and I know he's talked to me a lot. They're huddling now, and they're not as talented as Greencastle, and I think that makes a lot of sense. It's, you know, everyone no, they're not. They're coming out quick. I think they want to shorten the game and try to run some clock to keep yourselves in it to give yourselves a chance to win. And everyone's got their different philosophies, but you know, right now, Story's just piling up some good yards, getting 7, 8 a pop.
Yeah, and Story straight up the middle over the 50-yard line, down over the 45, 44. Sam Sprague steps up from the secondary to make the stop. As we said, we haven't done that very often. How much time we have left there on the camera? Do we know? How many? Oh, we're good. Like I know. Rolling out to the right side. Looking to make something happen. Pushes one of his runners out of the way. Keeps the ball. Is Cody Boyd. And he gets a 2-yard pickup on not the intended keeper, not an intended keeper, but nevertheless a keeper.
Yep. And Littlestown's putting together a good drive here. Again, they're into Greencastle territory. I think they're right now they're in 4-down territory.
Well, I think time-wise too, in the lead of 24-7. 2 in the backfield, 1 to the right. And they're going to just put it on the ground again. And forward motion is going to be stopped somewhere around the 39-yard line for Matthews, the ball carrier.
I believe that's Matthews' first carry.
Yeah, I think so. Anderson leading the 6 minutes left. Can you find a hamster or something? I don't know. It's a I formation. Play action. Cody under trouble. Fires it. Knocked down by Chrisman. Heavy pressure that time by Bray Peck along with number 27 for the Blue Devils, Andrew Votrel.
And Votrel's been all over the field tonight. And, we were looking for a little more pressure on the quarterback, and we got it. And Bray Peck is holding the hand that he broke last year very tight to his body right now.
Littlestown will take a timeout. It's their first of the half with 2:33 remaining in the third quarter. The Blue Devils up on top of this one on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Chalk Talk, the only program dedicated exclusively to Franklin County High School football, is on midpenbroadcasting.com. Join Gary Klein and Mike Montadoro every Thursday night at 7:30, streaming live from John Allison Public House, 401 East Baltimore Street in Greencastle. We preview each week's upcoming games and talk with the players, coaches, and reporters. You're invited to join the conversation. Email us your questions and comments during the show. Chalk Talk on midpenbroadcasting.com.
Your home for Franklin County sports. This is midpenbroadcasting.com.
Littlestown after the timeout. This is a 4th and 6 situation for them. They're going to, as you mentioned, 4-down territory. Boyd throwing up a timing pattern. Not bad, but heavily covered. And it looked like there was no hope for that ball to slip through as Liam Oakham and Chrisman in on the intended receiver. And so they'll turn it over on downs.
Very impressed with Liam Oakham. He did a real nice job. Kind of came in the middle of the Chambersburg game and got a couple possessions. And then next thing you know, he's starting the second half. And tonight he started from the jump, and right there he was all over the wide receiver. Done a very nice job playing cornerback for the Blue Devils.
Going to give you a warning here. Does appear that we're going to run out of battery for our camera. We will take care of these technical difficulties and get them straight, but we're probably just going to go to audio here in about 5 minutes. Right out of the pocket, they give it to Bray Peck. Bray Peck, they got a penalty. Going to bring that one back.
Yep, he hit him in the back.
Yep, but it was a great run and catch, but the penalty flag will be at the 39-yard line. Not sure who committed that. Probably was Hines, to be honest with you. And that penalty won't negate the pass reception, just move it back from the spot. So we'll wait and see where they're going to move that from. They're going to move it from the spot of the foul, which is a 38-yard line, the 42, and that'll be an illegal block, and that one is of the 10-yard variety.
Legal block in the back to call against the Blue Devils.
So the ball will rest now inside Greencastle territory at the 42-yard line. 2:17 to go in this one. Third quarter. Don't want me to get. Well, I meant until the video goes out. That's what I meant. Myers from the shotgun formation. 3 receivers on the right side. He's going to go to the left side. Bray Peck, 1-on-1 out there on the left side against Cody Boyd, and he gets down over the 50 into the territory of Littlestown to the 40-yard line.
Bray Peck being utilized tonight. They're splitting him out. That's a big boy out there on a cornerback, and it gives Spencer a great target, and he's a big guy to bring down.
So they're going to move those sticks. A lot of first down for the Blue Devils. I wish I had the opportunity to go back and count them. Maybe I can when we get a break here at the end of the third quarter, but they certainly have some offensive efficiency here tonight. Wing T straight up. Burton gets the call. Left side, finds the running room. Splits out down to the 32. 9 yards on that pickup, maybe 8, but still a significant gain on first down.
And this is going to make Demetrius Burton that much just a better player for Greencastle. The fact that he's not a real big kid, he's not a 25-carry kid, but you give him the ball 12, 15 times a game and pick your spots, a lot of good things are going to happen.
So now it's 2nd and 1. Blue Devils, time remaining 1:13, leading this one 24-7 in the third quarter. Wide out to the right side, slot, or a wing rather, to the left. 2 in the backfield. Spencer Myers under center, gives it to Hines, the fullback in this formation. Hines stays on his feet, gets the first down, crosses the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Just really like the way James Hines plays, runs the ball so hard. And as you said, Greencastle is just their offensive numbers are going to be staggering after tonight.
Oh, yeah, it'll be incredible the amount of yards gained, passing and running, and again, number of first downs. In the Chambersburg game, they had 19 first down against the Trojans. Under center, little cross to Measles. Sorry, just lost concentration there as the camera now has died. So stay with us. Measles with the football on that little counter play.
We are working to try to come up with a solution, though, to get it back online very quickly.
All righty, down inside the 20 to the 18. And second down and 9 yards on that one. We'd like to thank our friends, the camera people over yonder. They're helping us out, trying to, from Littlestown and Greencastle, everybody trying to help us out here and keep that video up. We'll try to be more descriptive. Blue Devils up under centers from the center of the field. And that is the end of quarter number 3. Blue Devils still lead this one as they did at the end of the half, 24-7. Knocking on the door again. Don't go away. We'll be right back on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience, 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to JDPower.com.
Erie Insurance.
This
is Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils football on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
Greencastle with the football. Hines straight up the middle to start quarter number 4, trying to expand upon that 24-7 lead, and he gets down inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Another Blue Devil first down. Unofficially, I have them at 26 first downs in this contest. And sometimes when you score the touchdown and it would have been a first down, you give them the first downs. I'm not sure, but we still 26 is pretty impressive.
They have dominated the game everywhere, but they're up big, but they could be up bigger, but now they are. James Hines puts it in.
Hines from just 8 yards out, and the Blue Devils add 6 to the total, up 30-7, waiting for the extra point.
There's never been a doubt. Greencastle took over from the very beginning, and they've handled it very well. James Hines, really good game with everybody, and it's just been all their weapons, and Austin Smith trots out for another extra point, and that'll put him in the driver's seat. Oh, no, that was blocked.
It was blocked. So that counts as a miss, but the score is 30-7. I'm going to step away here, Rick, if you don't mind taking over. Why? I'm just going to choke. It's okay. Everything else is
I got
going.
cameras down. I got guys choking. I'm telling you what, Howard Cosell never had to deal with all this. This is unbelievable. I'm going to give Greg my half-drank water just to keep him alive for a little bit. And they just announced all the cheerleaders. And Greencastle's up 30-7 with 11:34 in the fourth quarter. And Littlestown will be receiving 83. Trenton Hartleb will go back to receive it. Austin Smith will kick. And what you don't want to see now is sloppy play. The extra point got blocked. We want to make sure, again, we play as clean a game as possible. But it looks like Greencastle will go to 2-0 and get ready for West Perry next week. Again, the offensive has been the stars, but the defensive has limited Littlestown to 7 points.
I think, too, you'll find that not a lot of yardage for them. They have not been able to produce too many drives.
And in fairness, they just haven't had the ball that much. Greencastle has just dominated the ball.
Return taken up to the 39-yard line. Littlestown will try to do something here also. At the 39, inside their own territory. As we mentioned, that drive, by the way, that Hine took over from 8 yards out was a 7-play, 59-yard drive, yet for another score. It could be, as you look at it, Rick, it could be a lot worse than 30-7.
You almost have to look up the scoreboard to remind yourself what the score is. I mean, it feels like it's a 50-0 game. But Greencastle's played well. They've cleaned up most of the penalties. The offense, as we talked about, has been very good. The defense has done what they needed to do. They've held. It's been very tough sledding for Littlestown. Again, it's a long season. It's a building process, and I think, while Coach Chaninis will never admit it, this is another step in the right direction. He'll admit that it's a step in the right direction, but it's still a work in progress.
Trying to throw something down here for Story. Story, nice catch at the 31, and he's going to take it in for the touchdown. Is he just up? Is it fumbled? No,
he's well in the end zone.
It was a jump ball actually, and Chrisman and Story went up for it, and Story brings it down. Yep. That one coming from the 39-yard line. So that is a 61-yard pass play.
And that's 6'1" versus 5'7". Matt Crispin didn't quite get his head turned around quick enough. And, Story's a nice player. And he's had a very nice game for Littlestown.
So they're going to try.
And again, Greg, we look at the scoreboard.
It's 30-13.
Yeah.
It's onside kick. It's 30-21 maybe. Yep. It's not over yet with 11:15 to go here in quarter number 4.
I may have been a little premature.
So to hold the ball will be Boyd. Snap is down, kick straight away. It is blocked by Sam Sprague.
Yeah, he came flying off that corner and blocked it. Great effort by Sam Sprague, number 15.
So the Blue Devils and the Bolts exchange blocked extra points. So it remains 30-13 here. So, unfortunately, that leaves you to...
And we have great news from the technical department, Greg.
Wow.
We should be back.
Yes, we are. Hey, we're back. I have some visuals for you right now. Makes it much easier to watch the game when...
Now, if we can just get you cleared up with your throat, we'll be in good shape.
Well, I think I'm okay right now. The momentary lapse of losing consciousness.
Wow, I'm starting to feel like one of the surviving members of the Titanic there for a minute.
Well, we were sinking fast, weren't we? Yeah, we were sinking fast.
And all I know how to do is put on commercials. People would have been listening to an awful lot of commercials.
30-13 this ball game. It's been a good one for the Blue Devils.
It really has. And Sam Sprague, what I liked about that play is, again, these are situations where you can be like, we're in control. The extra point doesn't matter. We didn't let down. We made a play. And that's good stuff. And that's things that the team can continue to build on. Again, there's what you like as a coach is you win.
Yes.
And then you like, we're still not playing as good as we can play, and we won big. That's what I, as a coach, that's when I know I have something special. When we don't have to play our best and win.
And still winning ball game.
And win comfortably. And here's your onside kick.
It is. And it
Dante
is.
Tyler,
Dante
nice
Tyler,
job.
Yep. Recovered it well, went down like he's supposed to. Didn't try to do anything fancy with the ball, and puts the Blue Devils with the football at the 45-yard line here with 11:13 to go.
And that's great. There's a young man who really doesn't get in a lot. Here's his opportunity. He's a senior. He's waited. He hasn't played much between us. We talked about a senior-laden group. Gets his opportunity due to injury, and not only has played well on the line, does, as you just said, the right thing. Mm-hmm. Did what he's supposed to do in a good situation, and that's great to see. Good job, Dante.
Spencer Myers, hand off to Burton. Burton gets by 1-2. There he goes!
See ya.
Right through the middle, and he's going to race in for a touchdown. Wow, nice run by Demetrius Burton. It's going to be recorded as a 56-yard touchdown run.
And that is a nail in the coffin there, Greg. That'll take care of it. They blew a nice hole in the left-hand side, and Demetrius Burton has had a fantastic game.
Well, you know it's going to put him over 100 yards when you get a 56-yard one. It's his third touchdown of the night, and just that speed, and he broke a tackle along with it. Someone grabbed him in the backfield. So now we've just had 2 consecutive touchdowns on 2 big plays from both teams.
Yep.
One a 61-yarder, the other 56. Christmas comes in to make sure he's got everything working right, and he gets the extra point. So the Blue Devils expand this lead right now to 37-13. We will be right back on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today, and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Jump Time. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on MidPennBroadcasting.com.
If nothing else, the last 34 seconds has been exciting because we've seen 3 scores in 34 seconds.
And you got to see it because we got the cameraman.
That's right.
Got it going. Thank you, Mr. Cole, for that.
Yes. Taken down at about the 25-yard line. Christman makes the stop for the Blue Devils, and the ball will be at the 40.
And we have Cade McDowell warming up, number 9. They're very high on him, a sophomore quarterback. Be nice to see him get into the game, get a little reps.
In the third quarter, Biglerville 10.
I'm sorry, Greg, did you happen to hear that Chambersburg-Shippensburg score that they just announced?
Yes, I was writing that down. Here's 2 scores for you. Shippensburg leading 26-7 over Chambersburg in the third quarter, and Biglerville over Waynesboro 10-7 in the third quarter.
2 shockers there.
Yep.
Not so much at Shippensburg's winning, but the amount.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. Chambersburg to start 0-2 and to go into that gauntlet that they play is going to be challenging.
Now it will. 2-yard pickup, 3-yard pickup on the tailback up the middle. And Anderson makes the stop. 2nd and 7. 2 in the backfield, splits the quarterback Boyd from the gun, throws it out here.
Nice play by Sam Sprague right there.
Sprague has the breakup intended for Brandon Pinninger. So 3rd down situation facing Littlestown. Yeah, again, as you said, haven't heard much out of the secondary because they haven't really thrown. They were 2 for 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've thrown 12 times, completed 4 of those. And 1 was for the big one, obviously. Play action fake, look in the pass. Boyd comes out here. It is intercepted. Play. That's timed by Jeffries. Jeffries down the left sideline and run out of bounds. And a flag on the play. But Jeffrey picks up the first interception of the 2015 season. Now the play.
Hold on Littlestown, so the interception. But Tyler Jeffries has just had a great start to the 2015 season, offensively and defensively. Just a good play there. And the defense, as you said, and that was a challenge last year. We didn't create many turnovers.
No, we haven't.
And what's important, and this might sound silly, but I'm a big believer in this, Greg. It's sometimes the plays you don't make are just as important as the ones you do make. When you're a defensive player and the ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. That's huge, and you see that a lot. You see it at the NFL level all the time. Defensive backs not making the interceptions, and think of how that can change games.
Cade McDowell gets his first action under center in his varsity career. Long snap count, gives it to Hines. Hines is tackled right away, and a nice stop made in there by Austin Walters.
And I really like this move by Greencastle. Cade McDowell's getting his first varsity action, but he's getting it with the starters for Greencastle. And that's helpful for a quarterback, again, to get his feet wet, playing with the kids that he might have to play with in an emergency situation. But Spencer Myers did an outstanding job tonight, just was in total control, and hats off to Spencer for a great game. Probably the best of his career, I think.
Yeah, it was. I mean, how can you stop him when you go 7 for 7 in the opening quarter. There is a procedure penalty against the Blue Devils. And again, I don't know if that's because you have a new quarterback in there or whatever the case may be. Trying to get you some unofficial stats. Certainly we don't have yards for Spencer, but I can tell you that he was 11 for 6 in the first half, and 3 for 4 in the second half. So he threw 20 times, 14 for 20. One was dropped and one was a spike, so, not a bad night. Play action face, McDowell throws and completes the pass to Hines coming out of the backfield. Hines is finally run down by Ben Stauffer for the Littlestown Bolts, but he's really, really, really close to the first down.
And, Cade McDowell faked the handoff, rolled out on the waggle, hits James Hines, and, just a real nice job. And that's so important for a lot of reasons. And I think, again, the coaching staff's doing the smart thing here, letting Cade in with the first team. But you know what? We have so many skill positions, it's hard to tell who's first, second, or even third team with 30 seniors and all the good skill players we have.
Yeah, you could argue that, Zimmerman's just coming out of the ball game. You got
Parker just ran in.
But they played early on, but they haven't played all that much, so they're getting a chance to play here. McDowell under center, going to hand off to Hine. Hine on the keeper up the middle, stopped at the line of scrimmage, and at best a 1 yard gain.
First down, Blue Devils.
And again, that's got to be close to their 30th first down of the game, Greg.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out that one out too. I know, they didn't get too many because they went over, I don't know. It is close to 30, let's just say that.
Your scorecard's getting a little messy there.
Oh, my. Jeremy Anderson had just come out of the ball game. He went in at the line.
We got all kind of guys coming in and out
people
now.
Coming in and out. Caleb Roop going in and then comes back out. He'll be the wide out to the left side here as Bray Peck comes out of the ball game. Still have a Hine, and there's another motion penalty.
Again.
Yeah, we jumped. Going to come from the right side of the Blue Devil offensive line. And so they'll move back 5 yards. Second of the quarter. I'm looking here. That's 85, 11 for 85, 11 penalties, 85. Going close to that average of Chambersburg that they had against Chambersburg.
So that's
the 14.
25 penalties in 2 games is just too many.
Yep, it certainly is. 5 turnovers, and they're still winning. Again, they're still winning with that. That's what you say.
And putting 30 points on the board.
Yeah, a lot of room for improvement. A little draw play, giving it to Parker Bailey. Bailey Parker. Mike did that one time, and I made fun of him. I know Bailey really well. I can't believe I'm calling him that. And he gets the nice run up the middle, and after more than 10 yards, but it'll be a 2nd and 7, the penalty to put him back.
Bailey Parker has the athletic ability to be a real X factor for this team. In some game, in some crucial situation, he may be the guy that makes the big play. He's every bit as athletic as Derek Measle.
Be offensively or defensively, it could come either way. Caleb McDowell, handoff to Hines, just going to walk in. That was I could have drove a truck through that hole at the right side of the offensive line made for Hines as he goes in from about 5 yards away.
And
another touchdown.
Sorry, Greg, and good for Cade McDowell. He came in there with the offense and ran them right down the field. They executed well, and Greencastle's now clicking on all cylinders, and I think Littlestown's about ready to wave the white flag. But you know what? Their kids came in, they played hard, and Austin Smith bangs another one through. And again, little points. I like to see the extra points be successful. Now, you didn't want to see a run where extra points were getting blocked and things like that. So that's a positive sign for the Blue Devils as well.
It certainly is. They'll expand the lead to 31, 35. Is it 35 or 40 in football? I sometimes mix up my mercy rules with basketball. What is it in basketball?
In basketball, it is 35.
Then it's, I don't know, 40 points here. You're saying 40 or 35? Okay, we're going to go with that. This podcast,
we have no ability to doubt it.
No,
so.
and we can't really tell them to do that. But we're going to say it anyway. By the way, this broadcast brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less rate and get great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com, equal housing lender. Thank you to our advertisers for making this possible. Short kick and covered real quickly up front line by Ben Snaufer, and that will be spotted at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and I don't think that's what Austin Smith wanted to do. He wanted to drive it on the ground, but that only went about 20 yards. You know, I think that's a real positive rule that Mid-Penn put in both basketball and football.
Well, it is statewide.
So it is statewide. I'm sorry, the PIAA.
Yep,
then they deserve the credit for that because at that point the game does need to be moved along. You know, you don't need injuries,
right?
And you win. You know that's enough. And so Littlestown, as I said, I think they did wave the white flag a little bit. Number 15, Tanner Noble, 11th grader, comes in the game, and he's going to play quarterback. And I think you're going to see Greencastle start subbing out on the defensive side of the ball as well. Coach Deninis is
Chuck just
yelling.
Took a timeout. Yep. First of the half, rather. And he is going to bring in some substitutes here.
And that's the right thing to do when the little other team puts their second string quarterback in.
Right. 6:39 to go. Blue Devils 44-13. It wasn't long ago that it was 30-13. And we were talking, watch out here. But the Blue Devils put some distance between themselves and Littlestown and have turned it into a blowout. But midway through the third quarter, when they made it 30-13, it was right at the beginning of the fourth quarter, 11:15 mark. And you're thinking, okay, this could be a game. But offense stood tall there and came through and made some plays.
And you know what, Greencastle's doing what they need to do. They're getting better. They're scoring a lot of points. They're beating teams like Littlestown handily, and they should.
Right.
And West Perry will be another test, but they're going to be favored in that game. And again, looking at their schedule, and you know, we can do that. We're not coaching the team. You know, you have a run where East Penn and Hershey back to back.
Right.
Will be interesting. At Hershey, East Penn coming down here, and again, you know, you look Waynesboro. What do they have? You know, we didn't expect them to have the trouble they're having tonight. I thought they were going to be poised for a very nice season as well, and they might still. We were in the second game.
Yeah, they lost that last year and came back and played well. It was Connor Guyman on the carry up to the 43-yard line. The Blue Devils defense, with the exception, I believe, of Chrisman at the safety position, is all new blue jerseys. The trouble with turf field is that there's no mud on there, so you can't tell who the clean jerseys are anymore.
Yeah, Andrew Votrel's still out there, and I'm pretty sure they're going to sub him out here real quick.
I formation, and looking to pass. The left-handed throws over the middle and completes the pass to Morey. Morey was guarded by Brandon Black and pick up about 5 yards on the play.
And that's great to say kids' names that we don't get to say on a regular basis. And again, the seniors, I think they get it. You know, these kids practice hard and they practice a lot. And just because you're the starting quarterback or the 70th man on the team, there's no let up in practice, and you're coached and you run as many laps and sprints as everybody else. So, you know, this is good stuff. You need games like this. I always call these team games. You get everybody in there, and that's important.
That is. Well, that defense held that offense to a 4th down and out, so Blue Devils will take over right at the midfield stripe at the 50-yard line on this possession with 5:23 remaining in the game. I would not expect a lot of passes. The Blue Devils will keep the ball on the ground. The trouble with that, though, as we said, you got Cade in there, and you really want to see him throw.
Yep.
Use that experience as the Blue Devils take a timeout here. And again,
I think with all the substitutions, Coach Floor wanted to make sure the right kids were in and out. And there's a lot of players there to get situated.
There is, as they have come clean here from the first team. So the Blue Devils, again, enjoying a big night here, 44 points on the board. Last week, with 32 points on the board. Now, you're right, they're scoring a lot of points. They gave up 29 last week, 13 this week. So the defense, still has some work to do. They still have too many penalties, and they've had 2 turnovers. But they did create one, and that's something they needed to do. They needed to start down the path of creating some turnovers. So good things on the side of the defense. Offense rolls out right now. It is McDowell under center. And Blue Devils do not have enough people, so they just bring a wide receiver into the left side of the field. And he's at the near side. They're going to hand it off. And we got to get a jersey number on that one, but he ran for 10 yards and a first down.
I think it's Andrew Votrell still, number 27. A little shocked. I mean, I know he doesn't play much offense, but he's such an important part of the defense. Little shocked he's carrying the ball for us.
So they will host the new people in there. I'd love to tell you, Hardsburger
26, Chambersburg 21.
26-21, Chambersburg making a comeback.
Big comeback. That could be a season-changing comeback.
Good. 34-6, Fairfield over James Buchanan. Going to give the ball to number 20 this time. That is Joey Burns. And Burns, the senior, to the right side and picks up a couple yards on the play.
And, a kid like Joey Burns, a senior, getting in at this time, this is stuff he's going to remember forever. This class, and I'm a little biased, I'll be honest with everybody. I have a daughter who's in this class, but for 30 kids to continue to play is just an amazing thing. And to see kids who don't get in a whole lot to stick it out that long, that's pretty unique.
Well, the largest class to date to go through the Greencastle-Antrim School District, if they'll graduate around 250 or 60, which is a pretty big number. Well read by the defensive of Littlestown as the ball was given to Isaiah Peck.
And Isaiah Peck had a huge JV game against Chambersburg. I got to see a little bit of it, and he did a lot of nice things. And, he'll be an important factor for the Blue Devils next year and the following year to complement Demetrius Burton.
3rd and 12 for the Blue Devils. Clock at 3:45 and counting down. Well in hand, 44-13. And the Blue Devils with 11 fresh jersey. Bootleg, play action. And there's McDowell running around the left side. Nice pickup on the play. As he crosses the 30 and goes down over the 25, and he picks up a Blue Devil first down.
And Cade McDowell, someone the coaches are very, very high on. It's going to be his job to lose next year going into the season. And, again, with all those seniors departing, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for a lot of kids next year. And, this experience they get is just so important. The more they can get in this year, the easier it makes next year.
2 in the backfield, wing to the left. Looked like one of the linemen jumped. No whistle on that one as they give the ball to
Joey Burns again.
Burns straight up the middle. It has a nice pickup and the first down. This may be, I don't know if we have records of this. It's got to be a school record on first downs in one game.
Yep.
We're well over 30 and could be hitting close to 35. That's a lot of first downs.
Well, we haven't had a lot of huge plays to score. It's been 10, 12, 15 yards at a pop.
The Burton big run is the only one that we've had.
This is a 30-point win that feels like about a 70-point win, and Greencastle's just been in charge. And like I said, we've been saying that, and we looked up at one point, it was only 24-7, but Greencastle just doesn't stop. If you're going to beat Greencastle this year, you're going to have to score points.
Yeah, they have the ability to score points. Penalty, offsides against the Blue Devils. Well, we talked about trying to do better in that area. Again, this is a group that doesn't get, I guess this may be the JV squad.
Pretty much, yeah.
Six penalties in the second half, 6 in the first. That's 12 total. Handoff will go to Burns. Burns, nice cutback. Up to the 5, still on his feet, and he's in for the score.
Good for Joey Burns.
Yep, nice run. Nice run. Joey Burns from 18 yards out. Man, the Blue Devils keep going regardless of who in there. And that's one of those things where, you're not running up the score. The idea here is you run the ball, and if they can't make the tackles, you can't stop at the 3-yard line and say, it's okay, we're done.
No, and you know what? As a coach, I don't want you to stop playing.
Right.
I do appreciate you putting your subs in.
But don't stop playing.
But those kids deserve to play the game.
Smith, extra point. It is through the uprights, and he bangs that one home. Blue Devils up on the board, 51-13 in this one. And I'm just thinking, if it's 40 points, it's not. If it's 35, we're into the mercy rule. If it's 40 points, we're going to find that out here quickly. But the Blue Devils have made this one, Rick, a route that we thought it might be.
They have. They still too many penalties, but I think overall, I think what we definitely saw was all the weapons, and the play calling was very good. Coach Floor, I believe, calls the plays for Greencastle.
He does.
I thought he did an outstanding job mixing it up. We saw some screens and draws that we haven't seen before from Greencastle. They're utilizing their personnel, and they've got weapons.
Devin McCauley and Jeff Smith sit up here in the booth beside us, and they assist on the play calling by what they see up here. And they have is great game plan, great calling. Smith will kick off here for the Blue Devils, 2:25 remaining. Kicks it down the middle.
That's what he was looking to do.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. Taking it at the 20-yard line. And, woo, nice tackle down there at the 31-yard line. That's tackle, I believe, by Tanner Bain.
For the Blue Devils by 29, Tanner Bain.
Yes, it was.
Yep. And again, the kids getting to play and getting tackles and getting experience, that's all important down the road, especially in a sport like football where you just don't know. It's such a physically demanding sport. Who's going to be around? Who's going to get injured at certain points? You've got to be able to put other kids in there to do the job. One thing we don't have to worry about is we have a cradle of running backs that I've lived down here for 11 years now and have been coming to games religiously. We've had maybe more talented individuals, but I'm not sure we've gone that I can remember 6, 7 deep that can catch and run and have the chance to break plays, including Bray Peck, the tight end, and Tyler Graham, the other tight end.
You're correct. We have had very talented people getting 1,000-yard rushing yards. No one on this team will get 1,000 yards probably because they just can't. It is the mercy rule. The clock has been running since the kickoff, and there is
delay a game on Littlestown.
Delay a game against Littlestown, and you see the clock will run through the penalty. We'll hit the 1-minute mark here, and the Blue Devils will be able to celebrate shortly in about 60 seconds their second win of the season, and this one by a big margin, 51-13. I will guarantee you they will not score again, and if they even get the ball back, I know that Chuck will make them take the knee, as he always does. Handoff goes to the tailback, the lone setback in this formation. Gang tackled after he comes up over the 25 to about the 27-yard line. They'll get one more play in, I believe.
And that's a great point you made. No one is going to rush for 1,000 yards. No one's going to catch all the passes. As a coach, you've got to get everyone to buy in that what we're trying to get accomplished at the end beats individual statistics.
Yep.
And if we can get everyone bought in, we seem like we do at this point. One night it might be Demetrius Burton. The next night it might be Derek Measle. It might be Spencer Myers through the air to whoever. But if everybody buys into that, this is going to be a very dangerous team, and it looks like they are buying in.
There's another penalty. I think it's against Littlestown, and that's going to end the game because it does not stop on the penalty. This one is over, 51-13. The Blue Devils will pick up win number 2 of the young season. We'll come back and review it on the post-game show brought to you by Antrim Insurance right here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on MidPennBroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Everything's falling this season, including F&M Trust home equity rates. With the home equity line of credit from F&M Trust, you can pay less rate and add more great to your life. Get extra funds to pay off high-interest bills, tackle home remodeling projects, or make other big purchases. Apply today and you'll rake in even more savings with F&M Trust's special introductory rate. For details, connect with any local branch or visit fmtrustonline.com. Equal housing lender.
Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency, has been serving the tri-state area for 35 years. We specialize in screen printing and embroidered clothing. Del Martin Incorporated supplies a full range of brand-name uniforms for athletic, work, and medical applications, and a full line of advertising essentials. We have an in-house artist ready to put your ideas to work for you. T-shirts for schools, clubs, churches, and events. Del Martin Incorporated, 21 Sarah Susan Lane, Greencastle. Phone 717-597-5751 or online at delprint.com.
Have heating or air conditioning needs? Look no further than Lecron's Comfort Solutions. We service all brands: heat pumps, humidifiers, system replacements, gas, oil, electric heat, and ductless systems. Lecron's Comfort Solutions is your authorized Trane dealer. Call Corey at 717-597-3768 for a free estimate. We are licensed and insured. Lecron's Comfort Solutions. Local company, local name. Serving Greencastle and all of Franklin County with professional service and installation.
Chalk Talk. We talk high school football every Thursday night at 7:30 on midpenbroadcasting.com.
Another big win in the books for the Greencastle-Antrim Blue Devils as you see them out at the center of the field, talking things over with head coach Chuck Taninis as they pull out a 51-13 win here. Mike, to be real honest, not a whole lot to talk about as the game sort of got out of hand in the fourth quarter. It was actually close at the, you could say it was close. It was 30-13 with 11 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. How did this happen? And all of a sudden, it turned into a rout, and the Blue Devils pulled it away 51-13. We said it all game. What a group of weapons that exist out there.
Well, and it was close on, and it's going to sound silly, on the scoreboard only. You never had the sense Littlestown had the firepower to keep up with Greencastle, and they do. They just have a plethora of weapons to use, and they're using them, and that's important. And I think they're clicking on all cylinders. They can enjoy this. This was a great team win. Got some kids in who don't usually get in the games, so that's got to be a good feeling. That'll keep everybody motivated at practice, and they move into another home game, which is always good to have. The atmosphere was great here, and as it always is, and that's important to keep it rolling.
Here's one of my favorite parts. We started a couple years ago, the playing of the alma mater and the band and the student section who sits together, and that was something that was done a couple of years ago, and it's really added to the atmosphere here. I do need to tell you before I forget it that our post-game show brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local area insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg, Mercersburg, and surrounding areas. Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1685 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Rick Lewis is my partner, and you can tell that Mike Montador is not here because the word plethora has been used in the conversation, and it's just one of those things. As the band plays our alma mater and the football team around, Littlestown still talking things over down there. Again, just a big victory for the Blue Devils. We will wrap things up. We're going to take a break here, and we come back. We'll wrap things up here on the F&M Trust Sports Network on midpenbroadcasting.com and GameTimePA.com.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Had an auto accident? It's common to wonder how things could have turned out differently, if only.
No regrets.
If only you had Erie Insurance. With Erie, instead of regrets, you can focus on putting your mishap behind you. With an Erie Rate Lock auto policy, your rate won't take a hit, no matter what. It stays put until you change a car, driver, or address. People who treat you fairly, legendary service, great rates. That's what it means to have seriously good insurance for your auto, home, or business. Erie Insurance. See for yourself why Erie received the J.D. Power Award for highest in customer satisfaction with the auto insurance purchase experience 3 years in a row.
Your Erie agent in Greencastle and Waynesboro is Antrim Insurance Agency. Get a quote at AntrimInspa.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Limited to 3 years in Virginia. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. For J.D. Power Award information, go to jdpower.com.
Erie Insurance.
Streaming live with over 70 local sporting events a year, this is midpenbroadcasting.com.
I like what you said early on. It's that you win big, but you still have areas to improve upon, and that's got to be a really good feeling for Chuck Taninis and his staff at this point.
I think so. I mean, you still have penalties to clean up. The turnovers, we did a much better job. We had the fumble early. The interception was a good play by Littlestown. They hit Spencer as he was throwing it and picked it off. So you improved in that area. The penalties weren't as, even though the number was high, they didn't kill our momentum.
Yes,
So
that's good. Great point.
they were different kinds of penalties. They're still penalties. They still need cleaned up, but they were an improvement as far as the momentum. I think at the end of the day, if you're Greencastle, where this team is you have to look at the big picture. It's going to be challenging to gain. You're not going to be able to live quarter. They're explosive, but they can also make mistakes. And sometimes you've got to live with that when you have some stronger personalities as players. You've got some experienced kids who might take chances that maybe an underclassman wouldn't take a chance. So overall, I think Greencastle moves to 2-0 with a commanding win. A team they should have beat bad. They did.
They did.
They play West Perry. This is a team that I think has to keep building, that when they play the big games, and they'll be on their schedule this year, and they're putting themselves in position. It's all about putting yourself in position to get in position, and they're doing that, and they're winning the games they need to win.
Right, you have to come out. You're supposed to win big. They did win big. Whether you can argue, well, they didn't really do it until the fourth quarter. Doesn't matter.
Right.
They won big, and a big win for the Blue Devils. There's so many things, so many drives, so many things to talk about. Your best bet, let's be honest, read the newspapers tomorrow. They'll describe all those drives for you, because there was a heck of a lot of scoring and going on there. Blue Devils did finish up with 12 penalties and 90 yards in penalties. Spencer Meyer started out the game wonderful. Burton had the big play. We had an interception from Jeffries. A lot of great things that happened. Now, part of the post-game show, seems that you and I got in trouble last week because we ended up at the same vacation spot and we didn't know about it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and they, the wives basically said, "You're spending 3 hours together talking about what?" Couldn't you describe that? So, do you have anything planned for this weekend?
I'm going up to Harrisburg tomorrow to my parents' 50th anniversary. If you're heading in that direction, you can join us.
Okay.
This was an interesting broadcast we've had. Like I said, Keith Cole's sweating profusely. Got the camera back up and going. You were choking over there.
I got to give Keith
I come
credit.
up here to relax, and we got a lot going on.
I give Keith credit, but he was sweating once he got up here.
he was not a fan of those steps.
It is the best seat in the house, but the most dangerous place to get to at the same time. At least it's built in. It's not up top of the press box with no surroundings. So I do appreciate Keith's work tonight, because we did have some technical difficulties. We will get those squared away. We will be good. We've added a new camera. I hope you realize that when you watch it, that the picture is so much better. We're actually going to try to attempt to add a second camera so we can show the scoreboard at all the time. Boy, that's high tech.
That is.
Now we're moving into Monday Night Football and things.
And the people that are listening, again, you can go to midpenbroadcasting.com. There's a contact section if you are interested in advertising with us. As you said, last weekend we had over 1,000 listeners, which was a record, which is outstanding. We're showing both games in the Chambersburg and Greencastle markets. So if you do have any interest in advertising, we'd love to have you as part of our team.
Yes, we would. So our post-game show has been brought to you by Antrim Insurance, your local Erie Insurance agent serving Greencastle, Waynesboro, Chambersburg. I'm looking for the out music. That's what I'm doing here. And surrounding areas, Antrim Insurance, 169 South Antrim Way, Greencastle, and 1885 East Main Street in Waynesboro. Tonight's game has been a production of Mid-Penn Broadcasting. Tonight's camera operator has been Keith Cole. I remembered this. I wrote it down this week. Our next broadcast is this Thursday evening, as the Trojans of Chambersburg play a very rare Thursday evening contest against Lower Dolphin at Hershey Stadium. Kickoff is 6 p.m. Join Gary Klein and Mike Berger with a pregame show at 5:30 p.m. You can join Rick and me next Friday evening for our normal night of high school football as Greencastle plays host to the West Perry Mustangs. 7 o'clock start for that one. We will be on the air at 6:40 with our pregame show. This broadcast has been brought to you by F&M Trust. Pay less and get more great this fall with a special offer on a home equity line of credit. Learn more at fnmtrustonline.com, an equal housing lender. Antrim Insurance, your local Erie Insurance agent. Del Martin Incorporated, a full-service advertising agency serving the tri-state area for 35 years. Lecron Comfort Solutions, serving all of Franklin County with professional service and installations. And Klein's Tours, New York City, Atlantic City, and more. Visit kleinstours.net for a complete tour schedule. Again, our final score this evening, Greencastle 51 and Littlestown 13. For Rick Lewis and the entire Mid-Penn Broadcasting team, this is Greg Hoover. Have a good evening, everyone.